So I, Dr. Prachi Kaushik, and my colleague Dr. Smita Hingde, welcome you all to the BioE3 Bioenablers Conclave, which is being organized by Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, and Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, BIRAC. To start off the conclave, I would like to invite Dr. Amita Joshi, DGM and in charge technical BIRAC, to welcome the gathering.
Namaskar and good morning. Today I would like to welcome you all with a shloka on knowledge and light. Astoma sadgamaya, tamsoma jyotirgamaya, mrityoma amritgamaya, meaning that we be led from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, and from mortality to immortality. While these timeless words of wisdom, I, on behalf of DBT and BIRAC, warmly welcome you all this morning to the BioE3 Bioenablers Conclave, 1 year of BioE3 from policy to action, launch of high-performance biomanufacturing platforms. Today, we are deeply honored to have amongst us Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of State, Minister of Science and Technology, and Minister of Earth Science, MOB, PMO, Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Space, Government of India as our chief guest. Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, Secretary DBT, DG BIRAC and Chairman DG BRIC and Chairman BIRAC, whose vision continues to guide us and take forward this mission. Dr. Alka Sharma, Senior Advisor and Scientist HDBT, whose guidance has been pivotal in nurturing this innovation system. And our very own Dr. Jitendra Kumar, MD BIRAC, whose leadership is enabling transformative progress at BIRAC. I also warmly welcome our distinguished guests for academia, industry, startups, SMEs, and innovation, all the innovators who are here, as well as my colleagues from DBT and BIRAC. Your participation reflects the energy and commitment that drives this BioE3 vision forward. To make it short, this BioE3 policy, biotechnology for environment, economy, and employment, was launched last year to accelerate the high-performance biomanufacturing and empower the startups, SMEs, and institutions with access to world-class infrastructure. Over the past year, this vision has moved from policy to action. With the high-performance biomanufacturing platforms, we celebrate a major milestone in this journey. These platforms will serve as enablers across health, agriculture, food, green chemicals, biofuels, and even futuristic domains such as marine and space biomanufacturing. The presentation ahead will showcase pioneering work done by academia and industry, and I hope that the discussions today will inspire deeper collaborations and new pathways for India's bioeconomy. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all our dignitaries and participants. Let us together make this day a celebration of innovation, partnership, and progress. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would request Dr. Kalaivani Ganesan, Scientist FDBT, to provide a brief about the Bioenablers initiative.
Namaskar and a very good morning to everyone present here. So we are now celebrating BioE3, Policy to Action, the first year of its celebration. I take this time to present to you the progress made in the last 1 year with respect to the bioenabler component. As you are all aware, the policy is for promoting bio-based manufacturing in the country. We are setting the bioenablers in academia and also industry. As we all know, unlike chemical manufacturing, for bio-based manufacturing, the scale-up is not linear. At each and every stage, it has to have innovation, research, and development. Hence, we are setting up the scale-up facilities in the name of biofoundries, biomanufacturing hubs, and integrating AI therein, called as AI hubs. So this is expected to scale up the bio-based manufacturing in the country. So to brief you on the call, the first call, which went a little longer because we were awaiting the approval on the BioE3 policy, we received an overwhelming response of 253 proposals from all of you, industry and academia, and we went through a series of meetings, and finally 23 of the proposals got recommended, 15 in industry, 2 industry academia, and 6 in academia, which has been established. And what we plan to achieve, so as Amita also said in the welcome talk, so from food, healthcare, transport, construction, every corner of our life has been touched by chemicals now. Can we make the shift towards biology? So this is from CGT vectors and products, albumins, so monoclonal antibodies, so healthcare, other biomaterials. So we have a wide range of deliverables, but we envisaged through this biofoundries and biomanufacturing hubs. So I'll briefly touch upon some of the projects that we have already funded in the academia settings. So in ACTRAC, we are establishing the cell and gene therapy biomanufacturing hub. As you all know, this is a center which has got the first cell therapy for the country at a much affordable rate. So they are going to have a hub which will give you preclinical development through clinical manufacturing for first in human cell therapies. The more about this will be presented by the presenter here. So one more is at THSTI in Faridabad. This is the DBT's own BRIC institution. So they have expertise, they have demonstrated expertise in vaccines and diagnostics. And here they are going to set up a biofoundry for scaling up monoclonal antibody production and also live biotherapeutics, which is itself an emerging area in the country. And the microbial biofoundry at ICGB for bacterial and yeast-based engineering of recombinant platform technologies. So the NABI, the first biomanufacturing industry, has set up a biofoundry for agri-food products. So they have the facilities for scale-up and fermentation, and they have also proven expertise in agri-waste processing. So they have a biofoundry for smart proteins and bio-based chemicals and enzymes. So next one is at IPFT, Gurugram. This is a Chemical and Fertilizers Ministries institution, which has expertise in botanical pesticides. Here they are also going to do microbial pesticide formulation. They have demonstrated 90 plus tech transfers, and now they are going to have a foundry which will help scaling up of biopesticide production. And NCCS, which is more than 2 lakh culture collections, is going to use the culture collection for creating chassis organisms for industrial scale bioproduction. So those are some of the glimpses of the biofoundries that we have supported. Now we have also given a user policy, because unlike regular R&D projects, so these foundries are expected to be places where innovators, startups, and other researchers can come and scale up their bio-based innovations from lab to pilot scale and also till pre-commercial scale. So the user policy has been formulated keeping in mind that it will be a completely service facility. There will not be IP or publication taken by the institute for giving the service. So this has been already notified, and it's also circulated to all our investigators. So we hope with this there'll be wider access for all these biofoundries and biomanufacturing hubs, and those who are not able to set up will also get benefited from this. So going to the BioEI, this is a very new interdisciplinary area that DBT is taken into this along with the bioenabler component of the biomanufacturing program. So we wanted to use the data-driven biology, which is increasingly becoming data-driven, for undertaking the integration for enhancing the output of biomanufacturing. So we have entered into a MOU with MeitY for the AI infrastructure under the digital AI mission of MeitY. So those storage, compute, other facility software is going to be provided by MeitY, and we will be providing programmatic research support. So we received over 300 LOIs, and on these 5 areas which we identified: biomolecular design, synthetic biology, agri-innovations, Ayurveda, and genome diagnostics. So we went through a series of process, a little bit of difference in what we rather do, because we had a pitch talks where we wanted everyone to say for 5 minutes what they're really aiming to do between AI integration in biology, because AI is also used as, ubiquitous term, and people are using AI without really the need for it. So to understand that, we had a pitch talk. This was followed by a workshop. So we are now in the next step of getting a full-length proposals. So these were some of the pitch talks that we had in the workshop. So with all this initiative, we hope that these bio-enablers of this biomanufacturing program will be able to contribute to Make in India by enabling our startups and other researchers. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Recognizing the potential of biomanufacturing to power green growth, the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, has undertaken an initiative on fostering high-performance biomanufacturing. Further, Department of Biotechnology has formulated India's first national policy, BioE3 policy, Biotechnology for Economy, Environment and Employment, which was approved by the Union Cabinet on 24th of August 2024. As earlier described by Dr. Ganesan, under this initiative, first call of proposals was announced for setting up of biofoundries for early scaling up of proof of concepts and biomanufacturing hubs, shared pilot scale and pre-commercial scale facilities to support research, innovation and scale up. The call, which closed on 14th of November 2024, showed overwhelming response from academia and companies, wherein 253 proposals were submitted, and through rigorous multiple levels of evaluations, finally 21 proposals were recommended for support.
Now, now I would like to invite the grantees of the first Mulankur Bioenablers call to come and provide a brief background about the proposed biofoundry and biomanufacturing hubs. First, I would like to request Dr. Naseem from ICGB to brief us about the biofoundry at ICGB. Dr. Naseem, please.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to discuss our biofoundry at ICGB. So we had started long time back with the support of DBT, program which was biofuel program, and then we are happy that this program was taken further, and DBT augmented the facility which is for microbial biomanufacturing using yeast and bacteria as an production host. Where is my presentation? So, yeah, the purpose of the facility, this is augmented facility at ICGB, which is use microbial biomanufacturing using yeast and bacteria as a production host. The purpose of this facility is to develop novel microbial strains using AI ML guided DBTL design, build, test, learn cycle for strain and protein engineering leveraging bacterial and yeast platforms. This provides service to startups, innovators, industries, and academia to enhance biomanufacturing capabilities across the country. And we have recently advertised the expression of interest, people who are interested to use this facility to use bacteria and yeast as a manufacturing platform. We can work together and execute those projects. The total funding received from DBT was 19.15 crore. In DBT and BioE3 as a contribution. As I said, this was an augmented facility. The deliverables of our facility is genome engineered E. coli for high-level cetyl alcohol and parafilm to achieve the higher titers, and develop genetically engineered yeast strains for enhanced 1G and 2G ethanol production, and We will execute external project for strain engineering using yeast and bacteria is the main deliverables of our biofoundry. So impact on Indian bioeconomy, this biofoundry, we expect that it will boost the biomanufacturing, as microbial biofoundries can produce bio-based products like biofuels, chemicals, and reducing imports, and contributing to India's 300 billion bioeconomy goal set by government to achieve by 2030. Sustainable and circular economy, microbial biomanufacturing promotes a circular economy, driving sustainable economic growth in rural and industrial sectors. And it will also create jobs for new graduates as well as for Indian youths. The services which will offer is AML guided strain engineering. We have extensive expertise in genome editing and metabolic engineering, and we will use AI/ML guided DBTL cycle design, build, test, and learn cycles. We have expertise in metabolic flux analysis, genome engineering, omics analysis, and we will apply these techniques to develop novel yeast strains, yeast and bacterial strains which can produce different products. And we will also help to develop a bioprocess at the laboratory scale, is a small scale, as the goal of the biofoundry up to laboratory scale fermentations. The main components could also be the custom smart protein and enzyme development, which can be used using these facilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naseem. Now I would like to invite Dr. Jaita from BRIC Nabi to provide us a brief background about the biofoundry. Ma'am.
Good morning, all. Initially, I'd like to thank DBT and BioRac for hosting this important event in BioE3 Pakhwara, where we are doing this Bio Enablers Conclave. So myself, I'm representing BRIC National Agri-Food and Biomanufacturing Institute, which was recently inaugurated last year actually by the strategic combination of NABI and SIAB. And we are the first biomanufacturing institute of the country. So we have got this biofoundry. The name is called Agri-Food Biomag, basically BRIC Nabi Biomanufacturing Center. And with me, Dr. Vikas Rishi is also here, and we have 7 PIs who has developed this facility. And the purpose of this facility is to support agri-food and nutrition-based products for scale-up and commercialization. So we are really thankful for this generous fund by DBT, and we have very big responsibility on our shoulder. And the deliverables that we have proposed are initially establishing this big facility at the heart of Mohali, Punjab, then scaling up not only BRIC Nabi based technologies in agri-food and nutrition, also supporting startups in scale-up, strain engineering and process engineering, lowering carbon footprint, LCA and techno-commercial feasibility will be taken into consideration. Most importantly, co-development of products with startups, industries, and business development will be taken care. So the impact on bioeconomy, we represent North India, so to become a biofoundry hub of North India in agri-food, nutrition, and biomanufacturing sector, upscaling agri-waste based products, through scale up and commercialization to cater the needs of small, medium and large agri-food nutrition based industries of Punjab and also other parts of India, especially northern region. And most important, job creation for all youth, women, farmers, and then contributing to the nation's Make in India and Viksit Bharat policies. So what services are being offered in this Biofoundry Hub? Starting with R&D labs, so analytical facilities will be provided, technical support, mentoring support. We have large pool of faculties from different disciplines, across disciplines, and patent support, technology, IP facilitation will be also done. BioNest is also been given by BioE3 to us, so incubation space is there, and then that will be also catering to for the Biofoundry to flourish. And we'll be having pilot plant facility that is from 100 to 1000 liter fermenter scale, downstream processing, and then tying up with industries will help us achieve the goal of Make in India. Here is the facility already running in our pilot plant facility there. We are already scaling up some products. We have already some manpower hired, and the facility already up and running. And we have 2 years to prove, so time is running very fast. So Briknabi is having this advantage of the place, and then we are thankful that we are given this opportunity. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would request Dr. Sharmila from NCCS to come to the stage for the presentation.
Good morning, and this is a great occasion to showcase some of the Biofoundry activities that have been initiated, and I really appreciate the opportunity to do so. The Biofoundry at NCCS has been, the microbial Biofoundry at NCCS actually is focused on developing indigenous microbial chassis organisms which will contribute to biomanufacturing, and thereby it will become a very sustainable proposition that will support the bioeconomy of the country. The project actually involves 5 PIs from NCCS, and all of these have a background in microbial ecology, and they have been associated with developing the legacy, in fact, of NCCS, which is focused on almost 150,000 microbial strain collection, which was possible actually due to funding the earlier extramural grants received from DBT in the form of the microbial cell collection and the NCMR, that's the National Collection of Microbial Resources. We are also enthused by the generous contribution we have received from BioE3 for this particular microbial biofoundry, to the extent of 26.91 crores. The deliverables and the approaches that we are taking right now are to screen several of these organisms to identify suitable organisms that have the desirable characteristics that will make them useful for biomanufacturing. And at present, we are screening about 6 genera, which includes E. coli, of course, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, Pichia species, Vibrio species, Pseudomonas, as well as Bacillus subtilis. So from these, we hope to identify a few organisms that are going to be amenable vis-a-vis their growth rates, their amenability for genetic manipulation, and so on and so forth. And the Biofoundry essentially will leverage all the tools of synthetic biology to make it possible to genetically engineer these for their capability in sustained production. So this, we believe, will impact the bioeconomy in multiple ways. Currently, most of the, in fact, a large majority of the biomanufacturing relies on organisms, on production strains that are obtained through paying licensing costs. So this type of a development will reduce the foreign exchange outflow that is currently the situation. It also becomes a component wherein we are approaching self-reliance in bio-manufacturing and will be a big boost to the national bioeconomy. We already offer several services under the earlier microbial repositories, and we'll continue some of those services, including depositions of microorganisms that are developed indigenously in India. We provide molecular characterization in terms of sequencing as well as several other parameters. And one of the major features in our microbial biofoundry is the development of a strain resource center, which will also make available strains that have been developed elsewhere as for production purposes. So right now we have 6 strains that we have actually accrued, and we are maintaining them, and those will be available to researchers as well as academia as well as the industry. And this is something that we are looking forward to. So thank you for this, for your attention.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have Dr. Krishna Reddy from IPFT presenting. Sir, I would invite you to come on the stage.
Good morning to all, and so thanks for the DBT and BioE3 for the opportunity to present our biofoundry at this forum. And ours is our Institute of Pesticide Formulation Technology, which is an institute established in May 1991 under Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, Government of India. Primarily focus on to develop the user and environment friendly pesticide formulation and its characterization as well as bioefficacy and toxicity trials at our experimental research farm. So particularly this biofoundry is going to be established at IPFT will provide a one-stop solution from the development stage, that is from the isolation of the plant and microbial extracts, which can be biopesticides, and their formulation development followed by their characterization as per Central Insecticide Board Registration Committee guidelines, and also to provide a pilot scale demonstration of the developed formulation process to the industry, mainly MSME and startups. Because this is one of the important area to develop a biopesticide. As on today globally, we have only 5%, less than 5% of use of biopesticides in comparison to the synthetic pesticide what we have been using. So we are trying to the DBT BioE3 for their funding up to 28.69 crore to establish the biofoundry, and this has deliverables to augment the existing facility. So we already have a pilot plant facility. We want to upgrade it and refurbish it to develop the microbial fermentation process as well as the plant extraction processes at pilot scale demonstration with biosafety level 2 compliance for the facility, and also to optimize the extraction processes for the botanicals and even at the lab as well as the pilot scale processes. And even to do the chemistry, that is with respect to the active ingredient, what are the chemical and biochemical profiling of these biopesticide extracts, and their all the characterization requirements as per the CABRC guidelines, and to evaluate with respect to bioefficacy, phytotoxicity, phytotoxicity and compatibility and impact on the natural enemies to the pest. And all these tests we can carry at IPFT, which we have a 6 acres of experimental research farm with us to conduct these bioefficacy trials, and finally to optimize at the pilot scale at least 100 kg or 100 liter per shift basis. So the impact on Indian economy is mainly this, because biopesticide adaptability to the farmers is at very low, and this biofoundry will definitely help to the industry to take these products into the farmer level, and also it helps to minimize the residual levels of chemical pesticides which have been nowadays causing worries to get the products clearances from at the international level. And also it can boost the indigenous manufacturing and also import substitution with respect to replacing the chemical pesticide imports, whatever the raw material, many raw materials we have been importing from foreign manufacturers to make the pesticide formulations in India, which can be reduced, and also create employment and rural empowerment, and also environmental public health savings, because we can able to minimize the cost with respect to bioremediation of the chemical residues found in the environment and all, and also improve the economic efficiency. So the services is we can be the one-stop solution for the biopesticide development at IPFT with respect to the biopesticide isolation and formulation development, and do the analytical characterization as per CIVRC guidelines, and bioevaluation studies such as bioefficacy phytotoxicity studies, and even up to pilot scale demonstration. So these are some of the picks. This is our laboratory picks which we have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Dr. Bhattacharya from THSTI talking about the biofoundry at THSTI Faridabad.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thanks very much to DBT and the BioRack for this opportunity. I'm going to very briefly touch upon the biofoundry grant that we have recently received from DBT, which is going to be in the area of monoclonal antibodies, therapeutic monoclonal antibodies, and live biotherapeutics. THSTI is located at the NCR Biotech cluster, and this biofoundry has been envisioned as this being a very much strategic location where we would like to translate this into product. Very quickly, this is the funding amount that we have received from DBT to establish this biofoundry in the area of monoclonal antibodies and live biotherapeutics. And essentially, the deliverables are going to be to create world-class state-of-the-art pilot lab facility. In the area of monoclonal antibodies, it can start from a sequence to a drug substance, and to be ready to go for phase 1 clinical trial. And also to develop, in the next 2 years, we plan to also develop 2 to 3 indigenous probiotics and live biotherapeutics against metabolic disease indications, such as diabetes and autoimmune disease as well. This is no surprise. Both monoclonal antibodies and live biotherapeutics has a huge potential as far as market is concerned. This will be also an opportunity to train a highly skilled manpower, which we think are pretty much lacking in this area. One of the things that we would like to bring in next 2 years is to develop a very much indigenous monoclonal antibodies against one of the virus which is deadly, which is Nipah virus. The work has started, and we hope to bring the very first novel monoclonal antibodies, indigenous novel antibody, hopefully in less than 2 years. As I said, this biofoundry is going to help not only develop antibodies, but can also help discover and invent new antibodies. It will be a place for SMEs and startups to actually explore and develop some of these antibodies that they would like to develop from the cell line developments to the drug substance. As I said, this is a strategic locations where all the activities will be supported by many different services such as GLP tox studies, GLP bioassay. We have BSL-3 facilities, state-of-the-art animal house. So that's the vision. And thank you again DBT for providing this opportunity. I'll stop there. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Dr. Sanjay Singh from Genova Biopharmaceuticals talking about the biomanufacturing hub at Genova.
This is the presentation. Is this a presentation? No. Just a second. By what name it is?
Good morning. Thank you, Jiten ji, for this invitation. And I think this is a very important moment because the term biofoundry was introduced by Mr. Secretary maybe 2 years back to us, and we start focusing on it. And today, I'd like to congratulate him and his team to taking this word to the Lal Kile ke Prachir tak. So I would like to congratulate Secretary for this. But with this, our responsibilities are more. We have to deliver as a group. And what Genoa is participating, we are creating a manufacturing hub for mRNA-based precision therapeutics. Next one. I think I have to drive. So this is a contribution from BioE3, and this is Genoa contribution, and I think I have a little bit of pressure that I was told that this is the biggest grant of this group. But thank you very much. So we have, these are the deliverables. So what is establishment of GLP and GMP biomanufacturing facilities serving as a hub for mRNA-based precision medicine, development and initiation of phase 1 clinical trial for mRNA-based tuberculosis vaccine, advancement of phase 2, phase 3 clinical trial for CAR-T precision medicine in oncology, and provision for biomanufacturing services at least 2 external users in the field.
2016, there was only one company that used to manufacture calcium gluconate in India. That was also a very small quantity against the requirement of 20,000 tons per annum. Only 1 ton per day, so hardly 330 to 340 tons per annum. And that company also stopped manufacturing because of the technological challenges that offered, cost of production, environment. We have come out with the enzymatic technology to convert glucose into gluconic acid by enzymatic conversion, and we will be now only manufacturer of calcium gluconate, sodium gluconate, and ferrous gluconate in India. To start with, we will be focusing only calcium gluconate, sodium gluconate, and that too pharma grade. Currently, these all products are imported and mainly from China. We thank you very much to BioE3 and DBT for approving 14.63 crore of funds to us. We will contribute our funds 6.27 crore. Now this cost does not include the civil and construction cost. That will be additional from our pockets. Deliverables, we will be manufacturing minimum 8 ton per day calcium gluconate or sodium gluconate. This will give direct employment to 40 persons in a rural area. Impact, this 40 crore forex saving directly to the nation, because currently what the capacity we have designed, accordingly it comes 40 crore forex based on the calculation that we did in past on the 85 rupees per dollar. There is a high opportunity of export, mainly calcium gluconate and sodium gluconate. Enzymatic process, so there is no effect or adverse effect on the environment, whether it's a solid waste or gaseous waste, nothing. This will give 10 crore contribution per annum directly to the government in form of taxes. Apart from this, we will be able to offer other for development activities, production of enzyme-based other products, training to students, and analytical facility. If I talk about the current status, yes, we are beginning now, but civil work is already in the progress and almost 60% of civil work is completed. Now this plant is located 45 kilometers west of Ahmedabad, so a very rural area. Once again, I thank you very much to BioE3 and DBT for providing us this fund. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Dr. Hemant from Virtue Biotech Private Limited, located at Hyderabad. I request you to please come.
Good morning, officials from DBT and BioE3. Dr. Jitendraji, thank you very much for this opportunity. Innovation comes in many forms. While a lot of my industry colleagues are focused on product innovation, what Virco specializes in for the last 44 years of our entire I'm not too sure if that comes in. Before it comes in, we hope to have at least 30% reduction of cost of the current set of molecules. These include rituximab, insulin glargine, amongst others. The services that we are going to offer from these facilities are essentially large-scale manufacturing of older molecules. Today, the facility is ready for launch. We have those facilities in place, and we are awaiting the next phase of operations. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Dr. Raghvendra Gaikwari from High-Tech Biosciences India Limited, Pune.
Very good morning, everyone. And thank you, Dr. Jitendra, for inviting us to present it. And it's a really great initiative by Secretary DBT. The reason behind is that for industrial biotechnology, there is no venture capital as of now available in India. And that is the basic problem. And basically, this type of initiative done or taken up by BioE3 is supporting the industrial biotechnology. And that is a very important aspect of it. Now, actually, we are named our activity as a Fermtech. The purpose of Fermtech is to build and standardize fermentation platform for large-scale production of biocatalysis, specialty chemicals, microbial cells with a strong focus on import substitution. We will be getting around 27.38 crore rupees from BioE3, and our contribution will be 11.75 crore rupees. The deliverables are to build and scale biomanufacturing infrastructure for bioenergy and biocatalysis, state-of-art biomanufacturing hub to bridge a gap between the lab scale and research. We developed many technologies with the help of BioE3, and we were able to take it to a level of TRL 7. And from there now we want to really scale up those technologies. And all these technologies are with the help of BioE3, and nearly about 6 molecules will be manufactured in this facility. The CRL level of all these molecules is around 7. All these molecules have been getting imported for last 40 years in India. We are not manufacturing these specialty chemicals as of now. And basically to drive a social impact in biomanufacturing. So we would like to really enable startups and MSMEs and the biofoundry where the technology will be at certain level. We would like to really take up those technologies to scale up and make them commercially viable. So basically it's a strengthening of bioeconomy. Firmtech's revenue will boost India's bioeconomy by scaling up bio-based product production, enabling import substitution, and it is a step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, aligning with the BioE3 policy goals. It is a completely green synthesis of specialty chemicals where majority of the reactions are happening with the solvent, in the presence of solvent, and at a very high pressure, high temperature. Most of the reactions will be carried out, or all the reactions will be carried out 37 degrees centigrade and in a water system or in an aqueous system. It will be generating, or it will create a job for 10 PhDs, 150 biotechnologists, 100 operators and 100 casual workers. This facility will be established in Supa near Ahmednagar. It's a D+ zone and it will be created in 4.5 acres of a land. As of now, India imports API worth around 35,000 to 49 crore rupees and specialty chemicals of 1,20,000 crore rupees. Firmtech addresses this challenge by enabling indigenous production, reducing import dependence, and driving the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So actually the model is something, the Firmtech, the facility, there is a dedicated R&D at High-Tech Biosciences, as well as dedicated R&D or the biofoundry where the technology will be developed up to a TRL level 4 that can be taken up in Firmtech. And with the help of the DBT and BioE3 support, this Firmtech will be making a semi and commercial scale validation of the processes and process development and optimization for the companies. And there will be end-to-end biomanufacturing of biocatalysts, specialty chemicals and microbial cells. It will also conduct some contract R&D for the scale-up and contract manufacturing for the MSMEs or the startups. The module is something like that. There is a flexible entry module for the people who want to use our facility. We have kept 30% of our facility available for the people who want to really come and use at our end. There we will be allowing people to really come at any level. Like for example, they have got some technology available. They can really come and do a scale-up work and we can do a manufacturing for them. And we'll be having our own indigenous product which will be manufacturing in the given said facility. So this is the brownfield project. As of now, we are having this facility and now new building has been constructed over there. It will be nearly about additional 30,000 square feet of a construction which will be happening or completing within next 6 months time. And all the facility will be ready within next 18 months time. So this is the existing facility and where we are doing some sort of a specialty chemical manufacturing which will be now augmented for the higher capacities. Our motto is to nurturing innovation and empowering MSMEs, driving Bharat's Atmanirbharta in specialty chemicals, APIs, intermediates and microbial cells. The very important aspect is that our step towards having India some sort of a bargaining power in this VUCA international marketing scenario, where the market itself is very vulnerable and it is not having, and we don't have the bargaining power as of now because we are too much dependent on the import substitutes. So thank you very much, BioE3. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Dr. Vishal Varke from High Media Laboratories Private Limited, Mumbai.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to DBT BioE3 for giving us this opportunity. So, our grant is for setting up of the microbial fermentation scale-up facility for high-value industrial chemicals, recombinant proteins, probiotics, and service providing facility for industries, academia, and research institutes under the Mulankur grant. BioE3 contribution is around 10 crores. Our contribution is around 4.3 crores. The deliverables, we'll be having 2 fermenters of 1 kL each, and this will be to scale up food grade products, recombinant proteins, probiotics, cell growth stimulators, growth factors, and demonstration of gel and gum production at 1 kL scale, and fermentation batches for at least 2 probiotic products. So what is happening is a lot of the raw materials which are used to make the media, we are dependent on a lot of imported products, and primarily a lot of stuff comes from China. And agar that is used in the microbiology media is in short supply because it comes from nature. And agar is generally harvested from cooler waters. In India, we do have agar, but our waters are warmer. So our agar has to be worked upon in a big way. So what we are doing here is we are going backward, integrating to the stage of the raw materials where our dependence on foreign nations, especially China, will be reduced drastically. So gel and gum is a part of that. And there are many other products that will be coming out through this facility. Also, we would be producing and validating at least 1 growth factor, because the cell culture media that we also manufacture in the cell biology division, the challenge given to us was that the media should be made available in $5 a liter. And we are very close to that price point for the biosimilars or the CHO cell culture, because this media is very expensive today. And the growth factors would play a critical role in helping to drive the cost of the media down. Impact on the Indian bioeconomy, creation of shared pilot scale biofoundry infrastructure. This will enable academia, startups, and industry to test and scale innovations. We will support India's Atmanirbharta vision and mission by reducing dependence on imported microbial ingredients, enzymes, growth factors, and biologics. We'll be facilitating bio-based economic growth in areas like sustainable bioplastics, nutraceuticals, biosimilars, mRNA therapeutics, probiotics, climate-resilient agriculture. Services offered would be contract fermentation, scale-up support for industrial partners, startups, academic labs, analytical services, physicochemical profiling, stability studies, cytotoxicity, sterility, safety validation, so on and so forth. And facility access will be made available for academia and industry under defined user charges, the biofoundry model, including the GMP compliant microbial fermentation, pilot scale runs, and technology validation. Some pictures. This is of a project from DBT BioE3 again, where we were able to produce gel and gum, which could be a very critical agar substitute. And this would be used in microbiology media as well as plant tissue culture media, also in food grade products. And along with this, there are many other such products, or even microbes for that matter. For example, probiotics. We have a state-of-the-art lab in Nagpur where we have done new pore sequencing, and we have identified a lot of different probiotic cohorts. For example, Akkermansia mucilophilus is a very popular organism which helps to control diabetes. So like this, we have done a huge amount of analytical work on microbes from soil, from the gut, and different parts of the body. It's a huge area in itself. And some of these probiotics also we would be producing here and scale up these organisms, because there are a lot of American companies that buy media from us today. Pendulum is a famous brand in US that buys a lot of media. So like this, there are many products that can be made by us in-house, indigenously in this facility, and also offered to others, whoever would be needing this. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Next, we have Mr. Geet Arora from Sandyota Numandis Probioticals Private Limited, Ahmedabad.
Good morning, everyone, my industry colleagues and scientists from eminent institutes and all the representatives from BioE3 TBT as well as Government of India. It's an honor to present in front of all of you. My name is Geet Arora and My name is Geet Arora and I come from Sandyota Numandis Probioticals. And Sandyota Numandis Probioticals is a 22-year-old company that focuses in the fields of probiotics and nutraceuticals. Introducing first time in India products has been our legacy, and that is our track record in terms of what we do. Today we're based out of Ahmedabad and we have presence in Mumbai as well as Madrid. Now with the help of DBT BioE3, we are setting up a large-scale biofermentation facility that will help in the scale-up of probiotics and nutraceutical products. So we have a generous contribution from BioE3 and this facility will be set up in Ahmedabad. Globally, obviously the mission is to set up a global CGMP compliant facility that is capable of producing as well as selling anywhere in the world, and the design and the follow-on work that's going on is as per that mission. But more importantly, our vision is to produce products that have thorough clinical relevance. So we want to, and we are right now, only manufacturing products which are either first time in India, have the reputed human clinical as well as safety data, and are having a dedicated therapeutic impact. And thus, the vision is to not just reduce our import dependence, which is happening primarily from Europe as well as US, large manufacturers who are producing clinical probiotics, but also in line with the Government of India's vision, make in India and make for the world. Shall I continue? Welcome, sir. So I represent Sandyota Numandis Probioticals, and we are in the field of probiotics and nutraceuticals. Now, the facility that we are building right now at Ahmedabad is to be meant to produce probiotics, yeast-based microbiome products, and microalgae-based products. First time in India launch, as well as in line with Government of India's vision and Narendra Modi ji's statement, make in India, make for the world. Impact on the bioeconomy. So as we are setting up a large scale facility, there would definitely be a lot of manpower requirement for this. We expect more than 150 people to be directly impacted and more casual workers. There would be revenue that would be generated. But again, I would like to come back to our vision that is being strengthened by DBT BioE3, this work that you guys are doing, because we are producing probiotics that are not just meant for traditional areas such as gut health, but today we are talking of probiotics that are useful for further applications such as metabolic health, such as liver health, such as multiple hormonal issues, and we are going ahead and proving them in clinical data. So it is to, our vision is to make products that not just apply our capacity and we are able to manufacture, but further the scientific advancement in the field of probiotics and nutraceuticals. yes, that will involve further IP generation, and thus we've taken some support from you for clinical data as well as IP generation. And the services that we'll be offering would be in-house large-scale manufacturing for strains of interest, as well as CDMO for startups or other companies who want to potentially utilize a facility. Some relevant pictures from the existing pilot facility, from which we've already been able to create and commercialize more than 6 probiotic/nutraceutical products in an active format. We are not showcasing our state-of-the-art formulation facility over here, which is already running in Ahmedabad, and the upcoming commercial facility that is being supported by BioE3 on your right, which the civil work has already started, and we foresee the completion of this facility and commissioning by the end of 2026. Once again, we'd like to thank members of BioE3 and DBT for reposing their confidence on us, and thank you everyone for your patience.
देवी और सज्जनों, आज के कार्यक्रम के मुख्य अतिथि माननीय मंत्री महोदय प्रांगण में पधार चुके हैं। कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं सर्वप्रथम हमारे मुख्य अतिथि माननीय मंत्री महोदय विज्ञान एवं प्रौद्योगिकी मंत्रालय, पृथ्वी विज्ञान मंत्रालय स्वतंत्र प्रभार, परमाणु ऊर्जा एवं अंतरिक्ष विभाग, प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय, राज्य मंत्री कार्मिक, लोक शिकायत एवं पेंशन मंत्रालय श्री जितेंद्र सिंह जी को मंच पर स्थान ग्रहण करने के लिए सादर आमंत्रित करती हूँ।
Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, Secretary DBT, DG BRIC, and Chairman BioE3 to come to stage. And I also invite Dr. Alka Sharma, Senior Advisor and Scientist HDBT, to come on stage. I also invite Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Managing Director BioE3, to come on stage. And lastly, I invite FCA Nidhi Sharma, Director Finance BioE3, to come on stage. Thank you, respected dignitaries. Now, I would like to request Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Managing Director BioE3, to provide welcome address.
Honorable Union Minister for Science and Technology, Shri Jitendra Singh Ji, respected Secretary DBT, DG BRIC and Chairman BioE3, Shri Rajesh Gokhale Ji, respected Senior Advisor DBT, Dr. Alka Sharma Ji, respected Director Finance, Ms. Nidhi Srivastav Ji, respected dignitaries of the dais, grantees, officers of DBT, officers of BioE3, and respected members of media and press. It's my privilege to welcome you all to BioE3 Enablers Conclave on the launch of high-performance biomanufacturing platforms. You might remember DBT has already launched biofoundry platforms on 27th August. The total number of biofoundries and biomanufacturing hubs supported under BioE3 policy in the first call for proposals stands 21. Just for comparison, the total biofoundries under the Global Biofoundry Alliance is around 40. I'm talking about the total globally. However, many of the biofoundries might not be the members of this global alliance. Still, if we take total of 100 biofoundries and biomanufacturing hubs across the globe, India, with today's launch of 21 biofoundries and biomanufacturing hubs, will hold 1/5 of the total global capabilities or strength, which coincidentally matches closely with India as the 4th largest economy. So the initial kickstart is very, very optimal. But this is not the end of the story. India, through its Department of Biotechnology, under the able leadership of Honorable Minister Shri Jitendra Singh Ji, will launch more and more such biofoundries and biomanufacturing hubs. The plan of conception and implementation has been led by Secretary Dr. Rajesh Gokhale Ji. Biofoundries, generally speaking, are facilities where design, build, and test and learn can be facilitated using automated and digitized workflows, along with facilities for scale up for commercialization. We already have so many bioincubation centers which may have some semblance of biofoundries, but they are not full scale. They do not have the facilities for scale up. They do not have GMP facilities. They may not have the automated flow of design, build, and test and learn. So I think this is a next step on which we already build our base over the years in BioE3 and supported by DBT. For example, just what actually DBLT means. For example, innovator can design a synthetic pathway for any molecule to be produced in living organism, build the organism factory by inserting desirable genes, which we call chassis, and then test it by actually manufacturing it on the scale. This iterative process can lead to more learning and improvising the process more and more. It can be, it can be applied to not only synthetic biology, but also diagnostics, precision medicine, carbon capture, and many other technologies. And you might have seen through the presentation, most of them are, in the varied disciplines and varied science. So it encompasses the full spectrum of bio field that we talk about, and that's how the bioeconomy can grow in our country. The facilities can be used by startups, researchers, and industry to fast-track the innovation and commercialization process. With its 95 plus BioNest incubation centers, coupled with the funding support, India is poised for taking lead in engineering biology, ushering in the next industrial revolution led by biomanufacturing, which has been propounded by our secretary many times in his presentation. With this, I urge all grantees to fast-track the operationalization of biofoundries and biomanufacturing hubs and start manufacturing the products that are proposed in this call. In closing, I must say that while these facilities, coupled with liberal RDI funding which is going to come, India can lead at least in the global south to start with. Last but not the least, I must thank all my colleagues from BioE3 who has been my ears and eyes and hands. I'm just the face. Thank you all. And also coupled with this, the DBT team, which has been a guiding support for us. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Dr. Alka Sharma, Senior Advisor DBT, to provide her remarks on the occasion. Ma'am.
Thank you. Namaskar. Good morning. So today we are honored to have with us our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, respected Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji. Sir, we are extremely grateful for your visionary leadership and constant guidance for approval and implementation of BioE3 policy to action. Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, Secretary DBT, DG BRIC, and Chairman BioE3. Sir, thank you for your unwavering support and guidance for achieving the milestone within the time frame. MD BioE3, Dr. Jiten Kumar, and Nidhi Srivastav, all the participants and people from press and media. We are delighted to have you all with us today for launch of high-performance biomanufacturing platforms by our chief guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology. The BioE3 policy, as you all know, is a futuristic and first ever policy in biotechnology, is playing a pivotal role in advancing high-performance biomanufacturing platforms by fostering innovations and creating a robust ecosystem for the development of indigenous, sustainable, and affordable bio-based technologies and products. Built on the pillars of economy, environment, and employment, the policy is accelerating the transition towards cutting-edge biotechnological solutions, enabling the establishment of biomanufacturing hubs in public-private partnership. So, as we all know that a limited capacity to transform research leads into technologies and commercial products is one of the critical barriers
in translational research. The translation of bio-based products from lab to market is being hampered by lack of facilities for scale-up and to pilot scale and pre-commercial manufacturing scale. The proposed biomanufacturing hubs will comprise of pilot and pre-commercial manufacturing facilities for startups, SMEs, and industries to support early stage manufacturing. These hubs will act as innovation clusters, bringing together academia, research institutions, startups, and industry partners to accelerate scaling up of lab scale innovations and ideas into pre-commercial scale manufacturing of bio-based solutions. Tailoring for India's unique challenge and serving as catalyst for facilitating inclusive growth in biotech sector. Subsequently, these efforts will also help in lowering the cost significantly and reducing dependency on imported raw materials and technologies, ultimately will drive self-reliance, and that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Therefore, the bioenablers are the foundation of India's next wave of biotechnology-led growth. By providing state-of-the-art facilities, high-performance biomanufacturing platforms, tools, and infrastructure, bioenablers are empowering our scientists, startups, innovators, industries to move faster from ideas to innovation and from laboratories to market. These will not only transform industries but also generate new opportunities for our youth, strengthen Atmanirbhar Bharat, and position India as a global leader in sustainable biomanufacturing. Let us work together to make India as a global leader in biomanufacturing, delivering indigenous, affordable, and sustainable bio-based solutions for our nation and the world. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us on today's special occasion.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we would be playing a short video on celebrating India's biomanufacturing innovators.
DBT and BioE3 present high-performance biomanufacturing platforms, accelerating innovation, driving India's bioeconomy, biomanufacturing platforms designed to reduce our dependency on imports, enabling true self-reliance, and shaping India's journey towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat 2047, as envisioned by the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi in his Independence Day address on August 15, 2025.
BioE3 पॉलिसी भारत सरकार ने बनाई है। मैं देश के नौजवानों को कहता हूं, आइए BioE3 पॉलिसी का अध्ययन करके कदम उठाइए। देश का भाग्य बदलना है, आपका सहयोग चाहिए।
India endeavors to host 21 biomanufacturing platforms. These platforms will deliver impact across multiple sectors: high-value agri and nutrition products, precision therapeutics and advanced healthcare, sustainable biofuels and agriculture, a greener chemical industry, domestic probiotics and prebiotics, mRNA-based therapies and recombinant proteins, meat without slaughter, biomanufacturing for cosmetics, recombinant proteins, lower emissions, and clean energy. Guided by the vision of Honorable Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh.
The BioE3 policy marks an important step in India's journey to become a global leader in bioeconomy. The policy, rolled out with the personal indulgence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, positions India to lead the world in biotechnology by facilitating sustainable and efficient utilization of biological resources through scientific knowledge, for innovation, for scaling up, and for biomanufacturing. Scientific research and innovation are being translated into solutions that make a real difference for society through this policy. DBT and BioE3 continue to drive this transformation by supporting startups, entrepreneurs, and innovators.
These platforms cater to important sectors that drive the future of the Indian bioeconomy. The emerging technologies sector is one of them. At KIT Technology Business Incubator in Bhubaneswar, a dedicated bio foundry to be established for marine biotechnology creates bio-based alternatives to harmful chemicals and reduces dependence on imports. In Hyderabad, the National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, along with High Media Laboratories, is establishing the nation's first animal stem cell repository, which ensures a steady supply of stem cells and media while reducing imports. To strengthen India's healthcare infrastructure, promote entrepreneurship, and advance mRNA-based therapies, Genova Biopharmaceuticals is creating a hub in Pune. Translational Health Science and Technology Institute is establishing a biofoundry for indigenous monoclonal antibodies and live biotherapeutics in Faridabad. An end-to-end facility for research, manufacturing and clinical trials in the area of CAR-T and other cancer therapies is being established by Tata Memorial Centre in Mumbai. Leading this transformation is Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Secretary of the Department of Biotechnology and Chairman of BioE3.
The world is very fast moving towards sustainable biology-driven solutions, and India is ready to lead this bio-revolution from the front. With the Government of India's BioE3 policy and the DBT BioRac's biomanufacturing mission, we're not only investing in new technologies but also creating bridges between academia and industry, where discovery will meet scale and innovation will meet markets. This partnership will accelerate the transition from lab to industry, from ideas to products, and from knowledge to prosperity. Our goal is clear: to make India the hub of biomanufacturing, thus creating new jobs, new industries, and solutions that will serve both our nation and the world. Along with the national network of biofoundries, these biomanufacturing hubs are not just the scientific facilities, they are the national bioenablers. These assets will drive the power of biomanufacturing and will build an India that is not only Atmanirbhar but also a global leader in science, innovation, and sustainability.
Healthcare sector remains a cornerstone of biomanufacturing innovation. National Center for Cell Science at Pune will enable high-value compound production to be more affordable. FSID with Tata Chemicals is setting up a pilot facility for specialty chemicals and enzymes to support MSMEs, create jobs, and strengthen India's greener chemical industry in Bengaluru. Immunoadoptive cell therapy is building a GMP-grade facility for gene delivery vectors in Mumbai for increasing access to advanced cancer care. To boost indigenous manufacturing and reduce foreign exchange outflow, High-Tech Biosciences is establishing a large-scale fermentation facility for drug intermediates and bioenergy starter cultures in Pune. MBio Limited is setting up a facility in Mumbai for large-scale indigenous production of APIs. A fermentation facility is being set up for producing functional foods, smart proteins, enzymes, and precision biotherapeutics by Laurus Bio in Visakhapatnam. To ensure affordable healthcare, Virchow Biotech is establishing a commercial facility for production of monoclonal antibodies and biosimilars in Hyderabad. These efforts are strongly supported by Dr. Alka Sharma, Senior Advisor at DBT.
The BioE3 policy approved by the Union Cabinet in August last year under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister and released by our Honorable Minister is a futuristic first ever policy in biotechnology built on the pillars of economy, environment and employment. Bioenablers such as setting up of biofoundries, bioartificial intelligence hubs and biofoundry biomanufacturing hubs through public-private partnerships will act as catalyst for inclusive growth in biotech sector by providing a strategic roadmap for developing affordable and indigenous bio-based products and technologies, ultimately contributing towards a resilient and sustainable bioeconomy for the nation.
Agriculture and food sector are at the heart of India's bioeconomy future. The biofoundry to be set up by IPFT at Gurugram for the production of plant and microbe-based biopesticides. IPFT positions India as a key player in sustainable agriculture. To meet rising global demand in the area of agri-food and nutrition, NABI has launched a biofoundry in Mohali. For strengthening domestic manufacturing of gluconates, Agilent BioPlus is setting up a plant in Ahmedabad. Revelations Biotech is establishing a QMS-compliant facility for fructooligosaccharides in Hyderabad, which will support sugarcane farmers and reduce imports and advance India as a leader in gut health. A fermentation facility for food-based products and probiotics is being established by High Media Laboratories in Mumbai. Sunyota Numandis is setting up a QMS-compliant facility for probiotics and smart proteins in Ahmedabad to boost the national bioeconomy and reduce dependency on imports. At the helm of these industry partnerships is Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Managing Director of BioE3.
These hubs are more than infrastructure. They are engines of transformation. They connect science with society and ideas with industry. By nurturing startups and building indigenous capacity, we are reducing import reliance and strengthening India's bioeconomy. The power of this network lies in collaboration, researchers, industry and entrepreneurs working together to deliver impact. Our role at BioE3 is to accelerate this journey, ensuring biotechnology improves lives and positions India as a leader in bioinnovation.
Energy and green chemistry sectors are critical pillars of sustainable biomanufacturing. For strengthening India's biofuel sector, ICGEB New Delhi has established a biofoundry for providing indigenous yeast strains for ethanol production. IIT Madras with Tysel Biopark is setting up a facility in Chennai to promote greener alternatives and reduce import costs. For turning emissions into opportunities, Jindal Steel and Power is creating a facility for CO2 sequestration using engineered microalgae in Odisha. Together, these platforms are shaping India's bioeconomy, projected to reach $300 billion by 2030 by reducing imports, empowering industries, and enabling startups. India is building a strong, self-reliant bioeconomy. India's high-performance biomanufacturing platforms, supported by DBT and BioE3, are laying the foundation for a global leadership role, positioning India as a true leader in the bioeconomy of the future.
Now I would request Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, Secretary DBT, DG BRIC and Chairman BioE3 to deliver his address to the gathering.
Honorable Minister of State of Independent Charge, Ministry of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Dr. Alka Sharma, Senior Advisor, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, MD, BioE3, eminent guests and innovators from the industry and academia, members of media, my dear colleagues of DBT and BioE3, Namaskar and good morning to you, all of you. It's a matter of immense pride to be present here on this landmark occasion today, actually, the launch of India's biomanufacturing hub, which was envisaged about a year back, almost exactly around a year back, and launched by Honorable Minister, that we are able to, this far to be able to, provide not only the opportunities for people to do amazing things, but also to take care and ensure that this policy actually does make a policy to impact kind of ways in which is very definitive and for the future of the country. I think for this, I must at the outset thank our Honorable Minister for all his amazing support, constant guidance, and is shaping the vision of India's bioeconomy. So without constant support, I can almost guarantee that this would not have happened if you would not have been backing up like the way you have been doing all this year. And it's an amazing opportunity for our country to really get the bioeconomy off the track and to be able to ensure that biomanufacturing, which is probably one of the greatest opportunities of 21st century in my opinion, where biology will meet engineering, digital economy will meet biotechnology, and converge to do the sustainable growth. With this launch of biomanufacturing, high-performance biomanufacturing platforms today, India takes decisive step towards the Global Bioeconomic Forum, building the initiatives that are investment in future and our economy for our youth and for our people of the country. I think what Honorable Minister said, that rather than having a long speeches and discussions, he would like to interact with all of you post his speech, actually an address, so that since all of you have gathered here, it would be an opportunity for him to hear out what are the exciting opportunities going around in the country, what are the kind of things that we should do, and if there are any kind of ideas that one should envisage upon, having now seen in last 1 year what we've been able to do actually. I think the biomanufacturing hubs that we inaugurate today, which we call National Bio Enablers, or we also call it Mulankur. And Mul is the root actually, if you really look at, and Ankur is the new growth that is coming out to be. And I think this new roots will nurture and anchor our bioeconomy for the future of our country. And I think this will create the Viksit Bharat for 2047 in a way that is actually highly dependent on bioeconomic growth as a sustainable economy and for the innovation ecosystem. Together, we are actually supporting about 22 bioenablers for this kind of call that are there available right now. 9 biofoundries, 7 of which are in academic institutions, 2 out of them joint perspective, and 13 of these are biomanufacturing hubs that are producing various products and programs at the pre-commercial level. They have the unique focus but connected as national innovation ecosystem, and we hope this connectivity across these biomanufacturing hubs will also provide a tremendous amount of capability and capacity for our youths to aspire and grow up to looking at the visionary aspects of how these bioeconomic policies are likely to change this. Their work now spans 5 areas, for example, health and therapeutics, agriculture and food system, energy and environment, industrial biotechnology, and also digital and AI biomanufacturing actually. Some of these projects that you already, you heard in a video, but I would like to list it out because, it's really amazing feeling to really think of it, just what India will be in next couple of years' time when all of these programs and products will be out in the market actually. For example, state-of-the-art cell therapy hub, nation first animal stem cell repository, CGMP facility on next-gen pharma, a hub for mRNA precision medicine, CO2 sequester and engineered microbial various fermentation facilities for functional foods, smart proteins, bio-based chemicals, and biofoundries that will together provide a national network of activities to be able to ensure that these amazing entities become the future for our country. Now, as we have embarked upon this journey, we have kind of decided on that India will reach about $300 billion mark by the end of 2030. However, with the speed at which we have been going around, I think this can even be surpassed by 2030 if all of you bring together your amazing prowess that all of you have shown since the COVID times. Our country has completely taken a new directions in the biotech and bioeconomic ecosystem. And Honorable Minister always points this out actually, that how stronger and stronger bioeconomy will become the central part of our country's progress. I think last week, if some of you would have heard, actually we have also announced a Design for BioE3 contest.
Now, this is a unique call for our youth to imagine new microbes, new enzymes, new proteins, and anything new that you want to design in a biological system space. It's available for as an activity to be able to do it. One can transform by using this, you can transform health, agriculture, energy, industry. And this initiative reflects government's belief that the next generation must be active designers of India's bioeconomy. And that's why this is an open national call for all of you to participate. And we did the, Honorable Minister did the soft launch of it from the last week in Delhi actually. And I think we're going to launch this portal out where we're also going to give 1 lakh as a first hackathon prizes available for first 10 innovators every month for next 1 year. So it's an enormous opportunity for all of you to bring together your prowess, your ideas, your thinking caps, and come and solve solutions for our country's future. On this historic day, I once again thank Honorable Minister, our scientists, our industry colleagues, our partners, our young innovators, the DBT BioE3 teams, which have tirelessly worked for 1 year to really make more than 2,000 projects actually almost available for that have been submitted, that have been evaluated, and that have been now processed and being given up grants and monies. And their passion and creativity continue to power this journey. Let us together use these hubs and this new spirit of design and innovation to push the boundaries of biotechnology, to deliver solutions that improve health, protect the environment, and source our food and create opportunity for all. I repeat, the biomanufacturing probably is one of the most transformative technology of 21st century for the future of our country, for the science and technology innovation, and for the sustainability of a country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request our chief guest, Honorable Minister, sir, to launch high-performance biomanufacturing platforms. Thank you, sir. I would also request our chief guest, Honorable Minister, sir, to launch the booklet on high-performance biomanufacturing platforms. I invite all the grantees to come on stage for a group photograph. I would also like to invite the DBT and BioRack BioEnablers team to come on stage for a picture.
Thank you, sir. I would request our Chief Guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Union Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space to deliver his keynote address. Thank you.
On the dais, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, our very senior colleague and advisor, Dr. Alka Sharma, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Ms. Nidhi Srivastav, members of the fraternity, all the stakeholders, representatives from industry, startups, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, as Rajesh was telling you, I said at least I have come here to listen to them, not to sermonize them, because the age of sermons and the age of silos both is over. And I don't think one can draw satisfaction in the fact that one has been as entitled as a chief guest to then deliver platitudes to be made fun of in the evening club of the audience. So I would rather like to take your inputs, but I think at the same time I have to perform the pleasant task of formally congratulating the team BioRack, the team DBT, and also I'm also pleased to join this high performance biomanufacturing platforms ceremony. And as Rajesh was rightly telling you that on the 24th of August last year precisely, the Cabinet under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Modi had approved of this, and before that there had been a tremendous exercise. There were a series of presentations made. Rajesh had worked very diligently on this, and I must say that if we didn't have the kind of Prime Minister that we have, we won't have succeeded in rolling out this policy, because in every successive presentation it was put across that maybe it was not very relevant today, but it would be relevant tomorrow, and at least we would be the early initiators to claim ourselves. And this is precisely how the Prime Minister also in the Cabinet briefed others and convinced others. And of course on the 31st of August this was formally launched, and in the government, since there is a habit of observing Sunday as a holiday, so the ceremony couldn't happen yesterday, so you must excuse the guys sitting over here, but I'm sure gradually we learn from each other and try to also inculcate some of the best practices of the corporate, as the corporate would inculcate some of the best practices from this side. Of course, guarding against adopting the bad practices simultaneously, which sometimes happens because you can't adopt it in piecemeal. So sometimes the package happens inadvertently. But then now we have no other option but to work in tandem. And ever since we have changed the approach, and I think the political dispensation of this country right now is very enabling, very forthcoming. And I think one of the important signals that has gone across the globe is that we do not wait for others to take an initiative and then emulate them when they have already registered a success story, like it was happening possibly in IT, even in computers, even in television, where we were 1.5 decades at least late. So here we are among the first to have launched an institutionalized policy at the level of the government. So, and as I know whether as the BioE3 team had, I was just trying to inquire, they have already, I think, set up 21 biofoundries, which is, whereas across the world you just have 100. So if I have to publish a paper and make it statistically attractive, because that's the business I've been indulging in the last 3-4 decades, I would rather say that 21 out of 121 biofoundries belong to India. So that makes a good catch line and gets a paper published. It's not a small thing for a country like India, which was always following others. You have 21 out of 121 biofoundries in this peninsula itself, and you have almost 100 incubators and more than 4,000 startups who are associated with BioE3. So that's been a remarkable journey in a very short span of time, particularly when you see that before 2014 we just had about 50 startups, which is rather embarrassing even to quote. Now we've gone up to 13,000-14,000. And as it was mentioning, the bioeconomy has also gone up from just about $10 billion. Now we are eyeing at $300 billion. And the bio-manufacturing rating is also now rising higher and higher. We are already number 3 or so in the Indo-Pacific. And if I was going through the breakup, which is also quite interesting, the bio-industrial is 47.2%, and the economy generated from biopharma is 35.2%, from bioservices 9.4%, and from bioagri 8.1%. That means we have actually indulged in every area possible as of today. So we are not leaving any area untouched or virgin. So we would have the reason to claim that we were already into it before the other countries step in. And that overall also, I think, is a reflection of India's potential as a global biotech powerhouse. We have that capacity. We have a huge resource which has been, and as we move on, we would be integrating the other resources, the Himalayan resources, the ocean resources, because simultaneously we have also the deep ocean mission having been launched. We have the Aroma mission launched, we have the Flori mission. So all these will somehow get integrated. And of course, with the health mission also there. And even the projects I was just trying to go through are quite interesting and quite futuristic. Like, for example, when I stepped in and he was making a presentation, the probiotics, the first thing I asked Dr. Chidakumar, I said, is it chemical or is? He said, no, it's not chemical. So that was the first answer, because when we came out with the first antioxidants about 25 years ago, the debate was what was their potential relevance, because they were chemically driven. And for about 3 or 4 years in the conference and seminar circle, one of the favorite subjects of a panel discussion would be natural antioxidants versus pharmacological antioxidants. And finally, the conclusion drawn from all the leading journals across the world was that natural antioxidants were always more effective. It was more effective having a gajar or a sabzi rather than bulking down a capsule of antioxidant. So that's why now we are also closer to achieve the goals which we have learned through experience over the years as researchers, as scientists, as practitioners of these different areas, which also gives us an opportunity to offer cues, drop cues for others. And not only the bio-enablers, which would be, of course, a foundation for the new wave technology, enabling the startups, the innovators, and also the industry by way of broader linkage, but the biomanufacturing hubs have a huge relevance which goes outside the realms of the biotechnology, which may not be easily realized by the gentlemen and the gentle ladies sitting in the room, but you are also somehow inadvertently contributing to the geopolitical empowerment of India, because the kind of headlines that you read in the newspapers today, I think time has come to reduce our dependence on the petroleum import, for example. And how would that happen? finally that would happen the more we indulge into what we are doing. So the path to that also is through the department headed by Rajesh Gokhale. So you can understand, you are not only confined to just microalgae, the plants and the life sciences. You have a broader contribution to make, maybe in diverse forms, which others would realize more than you do. And therefore, why I said not to each other, I was telling Rajesh, we need to bring all the stakeholders on board and try to communicate with them in the language they understand the best. And because, so I think why I was telling you, we need to have a very robust social media communications, a very robust communication channel. Like for example, considering the day that we are observing today, in the Independence Day address, it was a great boost when Prime Minister spoke from the Red Fort and he said, I call upon all the youth to join this policy. Usually you don't expect the head of the state saying this from the ramparts of Red Fort, which is a declaration of intent. But the unique feature of the last 11 years is that in each of the Independence Day address, Modi ji has been referring to one or the other flagship schemes related to these ministries. So when he said that, many people would not have even understood, but at the same time, they might have gone home and tried to search what it is all about. And just because I was sitting in a zone where I didn't have a signal, and I was also trying to rush out to travel to the flood-affected zone, so the first call, immediately within 10 minutes, I received from Rajesh that he was quite excited that Prime Minister had said that. And the second thing I did was to call up the social media team and tell them that, no, this is something that, now which means our social media team was smart enough, creative enough, prompt enough, but they didn't know the relevance which was realized by Rajesh. So you understand the integration at a wider level. And also I was telling that there are some constraints in the government sector that, now for example, it's Independence Day, these boys and girls would wait for the next day because it's a holiday, they have to ask the operator to connect to the boss, they can't straight away connect as you do in the corporate sector, you simply pick up the phone and call the boss by his initials. So in the age of real-time working, we also have to learn to overcome those psychological barriers. So that's why I told my boys, let all of them sit with me and I'll be the first one because I am accessible to all. So I also feel comfortable with, and so also all of us. So that in real time, we could actually communicate with each other and also convey what is relevant to you. And that is, I think, how we move forward because, as I said, now I would like to listen to you, but as we move on in the next 20 years, I think at the dawn of 2040, which is one of the earlier targets that we fixed for this policy, you would realize, even before 2047 happens, that BT, that is biotechnology, is going to be the buzzword as IT was. Like for example, 30 years ago, if you said IT, it became very fashionable. So people would say IT even knowing what it meant. Like in the kitty party, you would carry a sugar-free tablet in your purse without knowing the adverse effects of it, which started being realized later on. So BT is going to be a fashionable buzzword in the times to come, and you are going to be the torch bearers of that. And that's how the Viksit Bharat that we talk about is going to happen, but this BT is going to precede that. So with that kind of esteem, motivation, and confidence, I think we have an opportunity to contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Minister, sir, would like to hear from the CEOs of the companies present here and the representatives from the academia about their views on the biomanufacturing initiative.
Good morning. Is it on?
Please introduce yourselves before asking.
Good morning, sir. I am Dr. Atharva. I am a co-founder of one of the startups from IIT Bombay. We are the pioneer in CAR T cell therapy. We were the first one to make the India's first indigenous CAR T cell therapy. So I would like to congratulate DBT and BioE3 that they are now supporting us in our next adventurous venture, which is developing the gene delivery vehicles, the plasmids and the vectors. These are two critical raw materials when it comes to these therapies. And today in India, there is no facility which makes such materials in large scale. And with the facility which has been supported with a funding of around 60 crores coming from BioE3 for this facility, we will be able to produce these vectors for India at a very affordable price and also for all the partners. So I think that is one of the key aspects of such policies, that young entrepreneurs like me get benefited, because when we start and we go out looking for venture capital, it is really difficult to find people who would support, and if support comes from Government of India, I think that is something which we really appreciate.
Actually, the initial support, of course, would come from BioE3. That's a very structured arrangement. But for a long time, we also have to change the mindset of depending on government. I mean, that's been a feudal hangover in India. For anything you say, is बार budget बढ़ेगा कि नहीं बढ़ेगा? Is बार salary बढ़? So I think most of the countries which have progressed have never looked up to government. They are not even aware of the government's spirit. In fact, I am aware of your project. You also have some of the TMC residents associated with you from the Tata Memorial, some boys doing their MCH, etc. Also, a couple of them are also my students. So I was actually telling them now to sustain, because as you rightly said, this is one of the pioneer initiatives. To sustain it, you need to have good clinical trials with convincing outcomes so that the people start lapping up. When the word goes around that, look here, this has some role in diseases or disorders like malignancies, cancer, then people will start looking for it. So for that, we need to validate ourselves clinically. Otherwise, it will start sharp of this support, because they would not be able to carry on for all times to come. And the private would come only if they see some profitability. But I'm sure we should start thinking. That's precisely, I was in Bombay the other day and I was telling some of your associates that this is precise. So I hope we'll do that. Like for genes, we have the trial which was conducted by DBT was validated by CMC Vellore and got a publication in New England Journal of Medicine, which is the oldest journal. 3 oldest journals: New England Journal, British Medical Journal, Lancet, because those days the science was domain of United Kingdom. So I think we have to do that, and we'll also validate it through some publication, so that people get to know that. And once we have reached that stage, then we'll also use the social media handles. You do some talking for 30 seconds, others do, so that those for whom it is meant come forward to take it. Our sustainers would be our consumers. That is very important for us. But I'm sure we'll move in that direction and we'll all work together.
Thank you. Sir, with your due permission, we'd just like to add that this product was tested in India, in the clinical trial done in India, and this has been published in Lancet last year. Yeah. So we are all, I think, in the same vision, and we would like to help make India the front bearer as the youth, as all the leadership has been saying. Thank you so much.
The other advantage is that you have plenty of experimental subject material in India. Yeah. You venture into any life science subject. The other day I had a group of boys from Germany. They said, somebody guided them to me. One of my colleagues from the academics said, so what kind of disease should we work on? I said, you name the disease, we'll offer you one. So, and in fact, the outsiders are coming here. So that is an advantage with us. And the ethical issues also are there, but our ethics committees are still pliable, though that should not be said publicly, which is not so in the West. So we have some advantages, we should make use of that.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much. And the most important thing, लाल किले के प्राचीर से जब कहा जाता है तो बड़ा सीना चौड़ा हो जाता है कि हम भी इस एरिया में काम कर रहे हैं, but now the responsibility goes to us as industry and academics to deliver on these things. So I will take few examples. Sir, one of the example, Moderna, Pfizer, and Genoa, we 3 started on mRNA platform technology. We developed it a little bit years later. We published in Nature Medicine, and the hand-holding was done very well by DBT, and DBT gave around 125 crores. But today, we have global funding around $54 million on this platform technology. With this enabler program, we are entering into one of the biofoundries, and Dr. Rajesh is very, very supportive. So Government of India has said in 2019, some people tried to confuse. As a doctor, you understand that we will eradicate TB by 2025, though I was against it. But now with this program, DBTians has entered into the game. So hopefully the phase 1, phase 3, we are going to do it. So TB vaccine program based on mRNA platform is one of this is going. Second, now just like these people and many are into CAR T cells, we want to take CAR T to the next generation. Because roughly at present itself around 300 crores CAR T is getting imported from outside to the top hospitals, and people are coming for medical tourism. We hope to take it for the next generation CAR T technology, where we can lead the field, not follow the field. So these are the two important programs which are going to come from Genoa, from this program, from this initiative. And certainly it is time we should leave catch-up game, we should lead from the front. Risky, difficult, but till we change our mindset, it is not possible. So thank you for the DBT, for the government.
As he rightly said, that's what I've been telling you. See, many of our the first generation space startups have now graduated into lucrative entrepreneurs. So you must think of BioE3 as an initiator. You know, in Bollywood, you need a break. Unless you get a break, how would you show the world where you stand? Stand or you don't stand. For a break, you need some patronage. Of course, if you're a Bollywood son or daughter, that's a different story. So once you get a break, you are there. But then how do you sustain yourself? For that, you have to have other takers. And I'm glad that some of our safe startups, they have actually followed what he's saying. They took the support through InSpace, because that is the counterpart of BioE3. And then immediately they got, when they found they were meeting reasonable amount of success and they could convince the other potential partners, they got funding from outside, even internationally. And the FDI is also now allowed. That's how two of our boys have set up a private, I think the first ever private sector rocket factory close to Hyderabad airport. Huge funding. So you use BioE3 as something, as I said, exactly the same example, for a break. But don't let, because a father wants his superstar, I don't know, you know all of them, have failed to make their sons as big stars as they would have dreamt. They could fund one movie, not a second, not maybe two. After that, they'll also give up. So BioE3 will give you one big chance, maybe again hand-holding for a while. Meanwhile, you should be on the lookout for other partners. That's very important.
Thank you, sir. So our mRNA program was roughly around 450 crores program. And if Deputy would have not given the holding hand for first 125 crores, we would have not ventured. So thank you very much for this.
You must make a small clipping of the initiation to BioE3 and the graduating to seek the international collaboration, so that it could be practice to be followed by others.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, here I am Ritunjay. I am coming from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. And thanks for giving us the break, to you, to the leadership of DBT and BioE3. So we are proposing now, we have one of the grantee here out of 21, the BioFoundry, especially focusing on the one at the moment, Marine BioFoundry. As you know, Odisha has a long coastline and getting into other states also. So what do you feel that not only the infrastructure of BioFoundry, but as you said, bring others. So thanks to build the nucleus from our side for the Marine BioFoundry, so we're very happy. Without starting also, we got 3 partners. And to, sir, you'll be very happy. Last time Honorable Secretary was there, we had the International Blue Economy Summit. So next February, we are doing the Global Blue Economy Summit, and 20 odd countries delegations coming. Why I'm saying this, so Odisha is also coming up in the map. The bioeconomy will come from our side through the blue economy. So I'll be, very happy that BioE3 and DBT is supporting us, the BioFoundry. So please also see the other policies of blue economy coming up very soon, because...
As I said, because I didn't want to take a lot of time, because I thought I'll spend time here listening to you. This deep ocean mission has to be integrated with you. And
yes,
you
sir.
have an opportunity to become the pioneers, sir, in marine bioeconomy, because you have 11,000 kilometer long coastal area which no other country has.
Yes,
you
sir.
have an ocean called Indian Ocean which no other country has. So you have, and this is a raw area, virgin area,
Yes.
nobody has peeped in. A whole lot of, biodiversities and all the fisheries. So that is an opportunity. The earlier you plunge in, and of course we will encourage integration. We would, in fact, next time, as we started with 1 week, 1 lab in CSIR, then I said we should have 1 week, 1 theme. So theme-based programs or such showcasing programs where not necessarily DBT alone should be. So I think next time we'll work on that. When we have a session on marine, we would also have the earth sciences and the ocean people over there.
So that convergence is very important.
And your conference that you're talking about, you could have a component of it dedicated to academics, of course, for validation, for evidence-based studies, but also a component dedicated to persons like these.
Yes, sir.
Because unless they don't come forward, academics will not sustain. And unless the academics doesn't give them the inputs, they would not be able to move on. So you have to have a very, that also we have to learn, because in the academic circle so far, we were discussing amongst ourselves, repeating my own slides,
sir,
recycled every year.
Sir, I think
that
very
makes
nicely
no sense.
said.
I have to now learn to be with those who are not necessarily in academics, but who are going to sustain me.
Sir, I think Secretary said the witness, sir, you'll be very happy. As you said, we have to bring them. Our conference was not with academia, also policymakers, 50 top startup of India on blue economy. We built the compendium also. We want to scale it up out of Odisha. So can you position Odisha as the blue economy launchpad also to work on the other? That's the whole idea, sir. We want to build our USP
in
now.
fact, I was there in Odisha about twice.
I know, sir. The IMMT was there.
The CSIR labs are also doing a good job, and I asked them, in fact, this, that you could be the torch bearers, because your location is like that geographically. So you should integrate it with all the labs, even outside DBT, and they are also into it.
Sir, thank you so much.
Even the life sciences lab there, which is of course yours, they are also into this.
Good morning, sir. My name is Devesh Maladi from MBio Limited, Mumbai. The company is a testimony of public-private partnership. We started with a strain from CDRI Lucknow way back in the 80s, won the PCRA award for bringing an API into the country, which was an import substitution. We're in the field of pharmaceuticals. Today, we're a synthetic biology and precision fermentation company with about 40 products. We export to about 80 countries worldwide. All the products are based on synthetic biology. We invest heavily into computational biology to create enzyme platforms and scale it up. Our expertise is in scale up and optimization. And we are setting up a biomanufacturing to help startup academia in terms of trying to use synthetic biology and take them to commercialization. That is the pilot and the pre-commercialization. That's what we are setting up a biomanufacturing hub. And as one of the, I would say, proof, we are also doing levodopa, which is a Parkinson drug, completely imported into India, and it's all part of the PLI scheme. We've developed a completely disruptive one-step process using genetically engineered strain, and that's going to be part of our deliverables of this biomanufacturing hub. So we're really looking forward to contributing, putting on the table our expertise in synthetic biology-based, genetically modified platforms and taking them commercial. And that's what we're offering to the bioeconomy and the GDP of this country. And all the products we make, sir, we have no Chinese competition. We don't depend not a single raw material from China. That's been the focus of the company.
One more thing that you could do is we could also ask, we should not be having reservations about asking the industry representatives, industry leaders to do the mapping for us, to tell us what kind of area you wish the BioE3 to indulge. And secondly, now, for example, you gave the example of Parkinson and levodopa. I think simply to have it within India, just because we have been exporting it, may not be enough tomorrow, because now, for example, levodopa is now a drug which is slightly on its way out. For Parkinson, so many other options are coming, like one of your institutes at Mane sir, kya naam hai uska? NBRC. Now they are coming out with the electronic modes to control your rigidity and tremors, etc., which go with this sort. Then you are having genetic. So we could also venture into the more futuristic options. Of course, I appreciate it. Gives us pride in creating something which was so far being imported. but may not be as, may not be the most preferred option. So we could go in for the newer ventures also, which they are already in. So since you are already into this area, I would rather suggest to you, you could work out that also for the other options.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. I represent academia. I'm director in charge of NCCS Pune, and we ourselves have had a one-year review of BioE3 and what it means to academia who's trying to get into a new area of bioengineering. So I think the entire academia is enthused by this type of an approach. And as the Secretary, Dr. Rajesh Gokhaleji has said, it's a bit about biotechnology meeting engineering, but to take it even further, it's also about design meeting creativity. And I think that is something that is receiving a lot of interest in NCCS as an institute that was invested only in biotechnology. We have a lot of interest from other avenues such as individual stakeholders of not only the industry, but also young individuals who want to put up startups and who are now looking at this to take this whole thing ahead. Apart from that, there's a lot of interest from climate activists who are really watching to see how we can actually try and approach replacement of chemical production with biomanufacturing. And there's a lot of interest in these areas. We are being approached for guidance on these matters as well. And there's so much that we can do. So our whole academia is also enthused by these approaches.
No, the other part of it, which you have been very modest in not saying, is that the conference circle has started inviting us.
That's true.
For how many years have you been in academics, ma'am?
25 years. 25
years. Now, give me a small statistic. How many invitations as a faculty did you receive in the first decade of your academics compared to what you have received in the last 2-3 years?
Oh, definitely, much more now.
So for the first time, academia has started understanding the relevance of biotechnology and has started getting respect, because I have been organizer in one capacity or other of the dozens of conferences related to medical sciences. I said, we hardly never invited a biotechnologist. I said they were doing something in the lab not relevant to us. And in fact, the fact that we had medical practitioners working in genes, working in markers, and all the other biotechnology areas, but we never actually had original or organic biotechnologists, which is now started happening. So that is good in a way that your capabilities are now being also respected, realized. And that, of course, that's again a feature of integration. So that's why now we are going to have even the concept of having a medical school and the engineering school in the same campus, which actually was the original. And even in the pre-independence era, it was being practiced, like Aligarh Muslim University, Banaras Hindu. But then somewhere it got segmented, because we need to have engineering colleges, so first 5-year plan, RECs, we needed to have medical colleges, so like that. But again, we have come back. So now biotechnologists will also be sharing the same roof, if not the same desk.
Yes. Thank you.
Now we are also getting invited into doctors' meeting. Yes, that's very exactly. So we have.
That's what I'm saying. No, we are encouraging it. In fact, we held a meeting for nephromycin, and simultaneously there was a conference of diabetes going on here in this jo naya bana hai. What is that new Yasho Bhumi? And they wanted us to have a session there, because I'm also the patron. I told them, no, do have a separate one. Because in the medical conferences, actually, we also invite you because we expect you to sponsor the session. No, I'm telling you, because so I said it's not difficult for me. I'll ask somebody to sponsor it, but we should have an exclusive one. So then we did a separate one. So, but it's good that earlier on, what was happening is that the pharma houses and the private sector was coming for a particular session. For example, if you are promoting in the process of promoting a product, you will request the organizer or the scientific chairman, the chairman of that conference, to hold a session, and you would offer one banquet and one session. So that the extraneous considerations. But as you rightly said, now it is out of merit happening. Both sides realize the merit of it, like the first ever nephromycin. So I think that's a healthy evolution.
Sir. Please go ahead. I'm from High Media, and 53 years ago, my father, Dr. G.M. Varke, had this vision and mission of Atmanirbharta. So I'll allude to some things. For example, at that time, when he was doing his research, the media that was imported in India was more expensive than gold. Gold was 60 rupees a tola, and the media was so expensive that it used to get rationed out. So he took it as a challenge. That I want to make this in India, and I don't want other scientists to suffer like I have suffered. And it has been a long journey for us. And we are second generation entrepreneurs, and we are into many products, many biotech aspects. And I'm so happy to be here today because like a pearl can be formed only with a grain of sand. And this is the grain of sand that we need. A lot of companies in our nation need that to form the pearl. And if we are 4 trillion today, with our demographics and momentum, we will reach 25 trillion. And bioeconomy has to be 10% of a developed nation. So we need to be 2.5 trillion as a bioeconomy, from 160 billion to 2.5 trillion. It's almost a 20x growth. So what we are doing, in my personal capacity, I will also add some things to that. We collaborate with a lot of different nations. For example, our Honorable Prime Minister is in Japan. So what will happen with what we have done now as the seed nuclei for a biofoundry? We can reach out to Japanese companies, we can reach out to the Europeans, Germans, IGSTC, for example, we are doing that. And if even BIRAC, NBM, DBT can help us to get funds from them so that we can scale up further. For example, we have set up 1 KL reactors, but we are looking at 100 KL now to reach the capacities that the Chinese have. Plus, something that we are doing, I am doing in my capacity is also as a company, is to work with a lot of startups. So what we realize is companies of our size and heft, we can reach out to 10, 20, 30, 50 startups who have great technologies and who need some handholding. So even in that aspect, like the Biosarthi program, if something can be woven in, then we can create a force momentum so that the next 20 years will be our time, and we have to take it now.
I think what you are saying is also going to be supplemented through this Anusandhan National Research Foundation, because they have an exclusive mandate to determine the nature of collaboration, the scale of collaboration, the entities who are partners in the collaboration, domestically. So that facilitation will happen through that once it becomes functional, because everything will get integrated.
Thank you very much.
Sir, morning. Team, good morning, good afternoon. I represent Sandyota Nemandes Group, and we're based out of Ahmedabad. And I basically want to talk to all of you once again about the buzzword that you heard me talking about, that was probiotics. The reason is that all the technocrats sitting in front of me, you all have been able to identify a few critical growth areas which are represented in your schemes. For example, alternate proteins. We know why alternate proteins is of importance right now, because traditional protein sources are constrained or they have origin issues, and you want to develop that capability in India first. But probiotics as an industry, it's probably as old as when we started curdling curd from milk. And the benefits of gut and brain axis are very well known. However, whenever we talk about this industry specifically in India or Asia, it is more so discussed from a capacity perspective. I would say there are still some struggles even on the regulatory front, because some of the probiotics are approved as drugs, some are approved in FSSAI, and thus for a manufacturer to figure out how do you navigate this whole scenario, at times it becomes slightly, थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. So, as we are progressing in science. Gut-brain axis, gut-lung axis, all these axes are being rediscovered, and we are able to identify so many clinical areas that can be addressed in the field of probiotics, and that is our, let's say, endeavor as Sandeota to prove it clinically and not go by the beaten path of just putting a facility and manufacture, but first prove it through clinical studies, human clinical data, safety data if needed, and then go about talking to the world that this is the kind of product that we've made.
I think to cut it short, what you are saying is actually it's an evolution happening for all of us. And not that we ever had a dearth of human resource. Yeah. Our human understanding very much was there, but the available information has evolved. Now, there is some role for probiotics was understood about 4 generations back, but you didn't have the answer. So as a clinician, if somebody came to me and said that I get diarrhea soon after I have a glass of milk, the advice by the early 20th century physician would be, you avoid milk. And he would go home telling रिश्तेदारों को दूध नहीं मुझे ठीक नहीं लगता मुझे allergy is, because that's what. But you understood, but you didn't know what. Then you got an answer. You got some lactulose tablets, supplements. You started giving me इसके साथ try करो इसके. Now you have graduated to this. So this is actually evolving. So all of us are evolving. As we learn, we'll move on. I agree with you. And then not only limiting, as you mentioned in one of your presentations, I appreciate that, not only referring to this aspect, which is rather more of therapeutic, but also going on for the preventive and the prophylactic. That will go into the next. And I agree with you. All of us have to keep learning each day and evolve to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you for your
comment. Excuse me, can I, Honorable Minister, can I just... So I'm from a company called Tojo. I'm not a grantee, but we're talking of import substitution. I'm very happy to say that instead of Atmanirbharta, our company will make an inroad into Bharat Nirbharta. We have been the first in the world to go into biotechnology for the global flavor and fragrance industry. And earlier, nobody had in the country endeavored this. In fact, there were companies overseas, large companies like Amaris, Ginkgo, Evolva, who were doing contract research. We took it on ourselves, and Dr. Jitendra was in Bangalore Innovation Center. We incubated there, and we also had some advice from Dr. Conclave. And I'm very happy to say that today, we have come on the world map where the globe is looking at us as a beacon for the flavor and fragrance industry to provide sustainable molecules, to provide circularity, to provide lower carbon footprints. And in fact, we are now being, kind of wooed after by large chemical companies to do a joint research program. And I'm happy to say that India being a very economical source for fermentation, we're looking at contract manufacturing in a big way. But as you said, that, I did not apply for a grant, but I'm very happy that this mission has come through, and the government is so much supportive of it.
You can still be a knowledge partner, which comes free in India.
Okay. Thank you everyone for your remarks.
Can I say something, sir?
Okay, then we'll wind up.
Yes, this would be the last one.
Thank you. So actually, sir, I passed out in 1993 and from a biotechnology, and I was a very early biotechnologist, started an activity. I just want to give an insight about the funding, the way in which we started getting. In 1995, I received the first funding of 12 lakhs rupees from TIFAC as a loan, and I had to give a personal guarantee so as to get that 12 lakhs rupees. I started the company from the home, like in a kitchen itself, and getting a venture was something which was very difficult. I entered into this probiotic manufacturing in 2007. We are evolved some specialty probiotic formulations which will be active against the CKD, chronic kidney disease, where the dialysis time has been increased from 15 days to 35 days. So that type of formulations we did. But with the help of BioE3 in 2012 onward, we were developing some sort of a platform technology for the biocatalysis. And this is the time when for industrial biotechnology, you never get a venture fund. That is the biggest problem in India. Now here we have got a grant of 29 crore rupees, and the venture capitalists are following with us that do you want a venture capital as of now? So at this moment, I don't want to dilute it because BioE3 has really supported my equity. So thank you very much for this type of initiative, and this is very interesting, sir.
If you have inputs like this, you can also provide to him from your, but I must appreciate in the 90s, whoever graduated in biotechnology or biophysics would find it more convenient to move out of country rather than stay back. So you stayed back and struggled, so that's appreciable.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone, but we'll have to conclude this session now. I would request DBT Secretary Sir to kindly felicitate
No, but the architect of BioE3 says that he has to apply 2 or 3 more people, because later on he has to face them. all of us are going to go. Magar kya, 2-3?
Okay, so I think there are more people who wants to put forth their remarks, so we can continue. Yes. Yes. Maybe 2-3 questions more and then we'll conclude. No, the mic is not working.
Sir, I'm Dr. Albina. I'm represent academia from Tata Memorial Center. First of all, I really want to thank you and the leadership at DBT and BioE3 for believing in this first of its kind opportunity, biomanufacturing hub. What is particular about our biomanufacturing hub is first of its kind academia, where is very closely working with industry, and also not national but international collaborations. And taking from what you mentioned earlier, we are very much focused on clinical trials, and by the end of it, we will have at least 5 to 7 different clinical trials and products going into licensing, and probably much more papers similar to Lancet, which is the collaboration which was with TMC and IITB. The other point I really want to make is we are very highly focused on developing skilled labor, because what you rightly pointed out, the global impact will be possible only when we have skilled workforce development. And one of the major bottlenecks for cell and gene therapy is the lack of skilled labor. So unless and until we have that skilled labor, and with this biomanufacturing hub, we are thinking of at least generating more than 50, 60 people with qualified skill approaches in different segments to take them forward into this field, and then probably push them into the biotech industry, which would further bring the cost down.
Also, the TMC has already been performing a pioneering task. Only thing is that much was not known across the country about what you had in store for them. Now that you have started new hospitals, 11 of them, 9 have already
The hub and spoke model, yes, sir.
9 have already, the hub and spoke is even more. That is even more. That's
even
about,
more.
That's about 30 or so, but full-fledged hospitals like in Mohali, etc. So you have 11, out of them 9 are already functional. So they are also now becoming messengers.
They're also going to be a part of the biomanufacturing
earlier on across the country, in fact, I did one of my research projects way back somewhere late 80s, and my guide asked me to study the lifespan of RBCs. So I had to go in for a isotope, chromium isotope. So that was my first exposure, you can understand. And then I used to collect that packet of radioisotope from the airport, because it would come as a consignment from Bhabha Atomic Center, and the entire airport would get vacated, because they said that ये कोई सिरफिरे लोग हैं जो कैंसर फैलाने का काम कर रहे हैं, radiation. So those kind of things, you know, because that is why I said we have to have very strong communication channels so that people know what you have to offer to those who actually require it. So I appreciate what he said.
That's one of our main focuses, like you said, communication, social communication. In fact, I would like to point it out here that we also have one association of biomanufacturing hub, which is founded by myself and Dr. Gaurav, which is specifically an international APAC collaboration focusing on biomanufacturing of ATMPs. So hopefully by the end of our tenure completion for biomanufacturing hub, in the next 3 to 4 years, we'll have more developments of IND products.
Good.
Hello sir, I am Dr. Ravichandra Biram from Revelations Biotech Hyderabad. Our company's focus is more on sugar reduction technologies. We create novel food ingredients which are targeted to bring down the sugar usage in the food. We have 4 molecules currently, and one is already commercialized. It is fructooligosaccharides. Last time I had the opportunity to share the sample, showcase the sample to you when you were in the DBT office. So right now we are creating India's largest biomanufacturing facility with the 20,000 metric tons. You rightly said we got the great support from BioE3. So it, in fact, acted as validation for the other private equity partners to trust more, have more trust in us, and we could raise a lot of funds because of this particular initiative. Thank you so much, sir.
How are you using that molecule?
So it is a substitute for sugar as well as a prebiotic and fiber fortification molecule, sir.
Synthetic.
Yeah, and we'll be the largest manufacturers in the world moving forward, sir, because we have a clean, lean, and green technology.
No, I'm not talking of the quantum, I'm talking of the qualitative part of it.
Yeah, it's basically it's a fiber. Sucrose is converted into fiber, with a terminal glucose, sir, with fructans.
So when you, yeah, of course, when you combine it with fiber, the glycemic index will go down. So that's very basic. So you're using that formula.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you. Thank you.
That was in fact even in the time, because before even insulin was discovered, the first time insulin was reported was 1921. Yes. Even before that, the practitioners advised fiber.
Right.
So that the medicine, as I was responding to it, this was known to us, but now how best to use it, let's see. It will be interesting what you're doing.
Basically, the advantage here is,
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Just supplemented with fiber.
Thank you, sir.
So we'll take just one more, and then
those who are fond of sugar don't find it sugary enough in taste. That is the problem. They say it tastes like isogol. Yeah, that is a challenge. If you do that, then I think it'll be.
So this is Sensei Raj, founder of Vision India 2032, which is a capacity development and nation building movement. I come from a marine background myself, but not in the research, but from having hauled crude oil on the tankers. So from far-fetched from that to blue economy is what our focus is on. What I found is that you have hit the nail on the head in asking people not to look at the government, which is exactly what we say. In developing capacity in the country, when we're looking at blue economy, we're looking at $5 trillion by 2030. How are we going to develop our ecosystem to when the global south is looking at us, 120 countries? I was just in the India-Africa conclave 3 days. Every single African country was here, which I have seen and been part of the 7 US-Africa summits, the same exact way that they had come. They're coming here to India, looking for India to lead and give the services. In that, blatantly that we don't compete or partake in the international finances, that we don't start funds, sector-specific funds. We look towards the government. I think we need to change this mindset, getting out of the feudal mindset. Now, having said that, the biomanufacturing hubs, let's say we could form 8 parks in the nearest future, in the next 2 to 3 years, would take us there to the first phase. And the second phase, of course, if you're looking at, because we work at the intersection of the disruptive technology and also from the angles of the national security. Having said that, the biomanufacturing parks that we could send as clusters and then also integrated with the curriculum. Because that's this morning I'm coming with a roundtable with one of the chambers of commerce in how to set these the initiatives from the stakeholders. I think that's what it's called for, that if we could work together in that, we could lay out an entire blueprint for this as well. Thank you.
No, that's precisely what I was saying, to keep the stakeholders on board, and not board simply to keep them informed, but convincingly informed, so that they become their partners, also their collaborators.
It's a team game.
It's a team game. What you said is absolutely correct. And government could be a facilitator, but you have to give us the mindset of being dependent on the government.
You're one of the very few to confess and acknowledge that.
I don't know whether it sounds politically correct.
Who cares?
So I know the discussions have been very encouraging, but the interest of the time will have to conclude this session. Thank you everyone for your remarks. So I would request our Deputy Secretary, sir, to kindly facilitate our Honorable Chief Guest for the day, Honorable Minister, sir. I would request our MD BioE3, sir. I would request MD BioE3, sir, to kindly felicitate Deputy Secretary, sir. I would also request MD Barak sir to kindly felicitate Dr. Alka Sharma ma'am, Senior Advisor, Department of Biotechnology. Thank you all the dignitaries for your gracious presence for this occasion. Now I would request FCA Nidhi Srivastav ma'am, Director Finance, BioE3, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of DBT BioE3, it is my honor and privilege to extend the vote of thanks at this special gathering, 1 year of BioE3, launch of high-performance biomanufacturing platforms. First and foremost, I express our deepest gratitude to Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh for his inspiring keynote address and for launching the next generation biomanufacturing platforms. So your choice to interact with the audience rather than one-side summarizing shows your openness, humility, and respect for dialogue. We definitely commit from BioE3 that we are actively working in championing in making BT as the next household term and a national growth engine. I extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Rajesh S. Khokhle, Secretary DBT, DG Break, and Chairman BioE3 for his constant guidance and encouragement. Sir, your reminder that this is not just another funding mission, but a mission critical to nation's growth. And if we do not do this critically today, India will be pushed back by several decades, has given us a renewed purpose, and this stays with us. We are really thankful to Dr. Alka Sharma, Senior Advisor, DBT, Scientist Edge, for sharing her valuable perspectives today. Ma'am, your constant perseverance in championing the cause of biomanufacturing is critical for its success. I am also thankful to our Managing Director, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, for his leadership and for setting the tone of this conclave through his thoughtful welcome address. I also wish to acknowledge all the presenters and participants of today's sessions who have come from across the India, braving the inclement weather in larger parts of the country and joining us today at a very short notice. I must also especially acknowledge the entire team that laid the foundation of the BioE3 policy, from rigorous stakeholder consultations to embedding the pillars of economy, employment, and environment. Your efforts have ensured that this policy is both visionary and actionable for India's biotech future. As we conclude, let me leave you with a thought that embodies the spirit of DBT BioE3. नवाचार की ज्योति जलाते चलें, भारत को विश्व गुरु बनाते चलें, अर्थव्यवस्था में हो प्रगति निरंतर, रोजगार पर्यावरण संग भविष्य बने सुंदर. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, and all the dignitaries. Now we would continue with the presentations by academia and industries of biomanufacturing platforms. Please remain seated. We would be continuing with the rest of the presentations from academia and industries. एक बार फिर से करें। हाँ। कर दो और वो भी कर दो। हाँ वो भी कर।
Request all to please be seated. We have more presentations there by the grantees, and we are starting them straight away.
Should I announce? कर दो क्या?
ठीक है, ये वाला ये चल कॉपी कर लो, ये कॉपी करो, ये वाली हाँ ये कॉपी करो ना, बता रहा हूँ। और इसमें उसमें जाओ जहाँ पर तुमने रखा है, सारी पीपीटी रख रखी वहाँ जाओ पहले। हाँ यहाँ पे जाके फर्स्ट पे जाओ, हाँ एकेडमिया में जाओ, इससे रिप्लेस करना है इसको, यहीं पे कंट्रोल भी कर दो। अब लास्ट ये चलेगा ना, हाँ ये 6
ये एक्ट्रैक्ट वाला
पहले हटा दो, पहले ये डिलीट कर दो, ये 6 कर दो इसको, बस ये हो गया कॉपी।
एम बायो खोलना,
एम बायो अब आ जाओ इंडस्ट्री में, एम बायो इसकी चलेगी ना, ये चलेगी। अब बाकी सीक्वेंसेस चलती रहेंगी, जो भी खत्म हो जाएंगे तो वो चलेंगे। वो ले लो, फिर पेन ड्राइव निकाल दो, पेन ड्राइव और वो लगा दो।
Okay. I request all to please remain seated for the next part of the session. Kindly take your seats. Now I would like to request Mr. Devesh Maladi from BioE Limited, Mumbai, to come on stage for his presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure being here. I'll get straight to the presentation. Okay, so the purpose of setting up the objective of the biomanufacturing hub is to facilitate innovation and provide access to infrastructure and resources for scale-up and pre-commercial trials to biotech startups, industries, research communities in the thematic areas mentioned in the BioE3 policy. A quick brief about MBio. We are actually a global leader in patented genetically modified organism biotransformation derived APIs and advanced intermediates. The key highlights of our platform is it's synthetic biology based. We make about 40 different APIs and advanced intermediates. We have a global leadership in the products we manufacture. It's R&D driven, 60 plus scientists, 30 patents filed so far, 14 of them have been commercialized. And all our product manufacturing is based on green chemistry. We have 3 baskets of products, the established products which we have been selling over the last 35 years, the emerging products which go into disease indications such as ADHD and also antiviral segments, and the pipeline products and services which include synthetic biology, CDMO. We have a total manufacturing capacity currently of 480,000 liters of fermentation and 225,000 liters of chemical synthesis. Our facilities are audited by all global regulatory authorities from US FDA, the Japanese PMDA, the Brazilian Anvisa, the Korean FDA, and the Mexican Coffee Pre. More than 160 customers worldwide. We sell to about 80 plus countries worldwide, and 70% plus of the, we have a 70% plus of the market share, or the global market, regulated markets in the products that we sell. So in terms of the manufacturing sites, we have 2 manufacturing sites, one at Mahad, which is what I just described, and the new one which is coming up where the biomanufacturing hub is going to be created. This is at Dahej in Gujarat, which we're going to create about 194,000 liters of fermentation capacity and about 107,000 liters of chemical synthesis. And part of it is funded by the BioE3 for creating the pilot and pre-commercial manufacturing hub. R&D facility, I spoke about it. We have about 60 plus, 30 patents so far, filed so far. I think the significant relationship that we have with BioE3 is that for the last 15 years, we have done 6 R&D projects with BioE3, 5 of which we have commercialized. We have also received the Biotech Product and Process Development and Commercialization Award in 2019 by Department of Biotechnology. So in terms of the project cost, the BioE3 contribution is about 65 crores. Our contribution is about 30 crores. The deliverables here are product A, we need to scale it up to 1 KL pilot scale, and product B, which is an API, to 10 liters, 10 KL and 20,000, which is pre-commercial scale. And also to make the new facility accessible for CDMO projects for at least 2 external users. Now, the impact on bioeconomy, you have the whole ecosystem of research, academia, public-private partnership entrepreneurs on the left, and here we are, the biomanufacturing hub, contributing to the economy and the environment in terms of sustainable environment and GDP growth. Just an illustration of how our proposal would align to the BioE3 policy. So we have our own R&D pipeline of products which we would run through the pilot plant and the pre-commercial facility, and also we would offer these services to biotech startups, industries and research communities for both pilot and pre-commercial scale. And that's where our expertise lies, in process optimization and scale up, besides the R&D synthetic biology that we offer to customers. The services that we offer are 3: synthetic biology, R&D, biomanufacturing, technology development support. I mentioned about process optimization and scale up, and contract biomanufacturing in terms of pilot to pre-commercial scale for startups, for academia, SMEs, and SMEs lacking infrastructure. I mentioned in my address to the Honorable Minister that the genesis of the company way back in the 80s started with public-private partnership. And that's the genesis of the business. We strongly believe we have done at least about, out of the 6 BioE3 projects, we have done at least 4 projects funded, done through public-private partnership, which we have commercialized. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, just one second. This is our, the Greenfield project. The red one on the right-hand side bottom is the proposed biomanufacturing. It's a 25-acre site at Dahej, established in 2024. So we have all the necessary permissions to set up a biomanufacturing facility with a discharge of about close to 1,000 KL per day effluent to the CETP. So this is just a 3D, I would say, illustration of how the 10 KL and 20 KL reactors would look like. Thank you very much. Sorry about it.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Dr. Albina from Actrec, Mumbai to deliver her address.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not going to stay, in the interest of time, I'll keep it very simple and quick. So, as already discussed, Attract Tata Memorial Center is the grantee for this project, which is the establishment of Advanced Cell Therapy Biomanufacturing Hub. And the purpose of this facility is three-tiered. One is to set up a GMP manufacturing facility, which is going to be a point-of-care, state-of-the-art, first of its kind in India and Asia, and establishing an R&D unit which will focus specifically on cost-effective indigenous development of cell and gene therapy products, and the ancillary modularity units, which is the regulatory cell, the IP, and the commercial cell, to facilitate the hub and spoke kind of work which is associated with this project. The BioEC contribution, the DBT contribution is been very generous, around 45.62 crores. And the vision of this biomanufacturing hub is to have a transformative vision for scaling up the blinded clinical trials, which already TMC has clinical expertise with, to large-scale GMP production, having a holistic model which caters to end-to-end capabilities for all R&D stage cellular therapies, and having a very comprehensive collaborative approach for commercialization and fostering academia and industry collaborations for scalable solutions. So this biomanufacturing hub is going to be an accelerator and enabler for all cell and gene therapy products from R&D, catering to all the different elements of the clinical development product pathway, be it R&D, be it animal studies, product development, or GMP, towards clinical trials and commercialization. And as I said before, a very important focus is on international and national collaborations. The deliverables of this project are mainly going to be for translational deliverables, in-house cost-effective vector development, process development strategies and manufacturing platforms unique to these cell therapy products. And for clinical deliverables, at least 3 to 5 successful clinical trials in the next 2 years, IND-ready cell-based medicinal products, and commercial and IP deliverables, development of at least 5 to 7 licensed commercialized products ready for market and clinical application, infrastructure and process deliverables, a fully operationalized cell therapy manufacturing facility, which could be used for clinical grade protection capabilities in collaboration, and workforce development and education deliverables, as already mentioned, skilled workforce, which would further bring down the cost. The services which we plan to be offering after the mid 1 year of completion of this project are process development strategies, where customized process development platforms and applications will be done for scalability and clinical translation, GMP manufacturing facilities, dedicated GMP suites for technology and transfer support, clinical grade product manufacturing for early and late phase clinical trials with CDMOs, CROs, academic institutions, analytical testing facilities for QC, regulatory compliant analytical assays, release testing, and production certification. And first time in an academic institution, consultancy services is what we are trying to focus in this project. Consultancy for R&D strategies, regulatory compliance, and operational optimization. Then we are also planning to have comprehensive service packages, which is integrated offering of process development, GMP manufacturing, and QA, and end-to-end support from R&D to clinical trials. And a very important focus is training and workforce development, where we would be offering certified-based hands-on training in GMP manufacturing, regulatory compliance for all national and international organizations. So the impact on bioeconomy is that with driving the cost 10 to 20 times lower than the Western markets and having a large database, there will be decreased dependence on imported products, and there will be more drive towards domestic demand and hence sustainable CGT healthcare market. Additionally, with global competitiveness and having the Indian clinical volume and the low cost, India has an opportunity to become a regional hub and contribute significantly to the 300 million goal by 2030. Additionally, for employment, direct job opportunities, skilled labor, and indirect multiplier effect also in people, training in people in supply chain, equipment, training, and building a skilled workforce. With global partnerships, there is potential of decreasing the imports, so increasing the imports to similar LMICs and APAC, and establishing a strong footprint of India into global health and generating revenue. These are some of the pictures, this is the floor map, which is already approved by CIDISCO West Zone, with around 7 ISO 7 clean rooms and vector manufacturing facilities. The engineering and construction is not a part of this project, is funded by DAE, and we should be operational by the end of December 2025. This just shows a 3D image of one of the ISO 7 rooms and the staff while the construction is going on at the CGMP. We are the principal investigator. I'm the principal investigator, and Dr. Gaurav Narula, who is the HOD and the clinical scientist for the cell and gene therapy project at Tata Memorial Center, are the investigators on this project. And we have a very strong supporting team from clinical side, apheresis team, and the process and product development team. With that, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Albina. Next, I would like to request Dr. Ravi Chandra B. Ram from Revelations Biotech Private Limited, Hyderabad, to deliver his presentation.
This one, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Revelations Biotech primary focus is to develop the food ingredients to bring down the sugar content in the food. Yes, we have a lot of programs where we do a lot of synthetic biology to develop new molecules, where we do a lot of genome editing and stuff like that. But for the presentation, I'm going to keep it very, very brief. So what we are doing here is, we are taking sugar and converting it into an edible, sweet-tasting fiber called fructooligosaccharides. This is not a new molecule. What we have been doing is process innovation, just like how our colleagues from Hyderabad mentioned, how to make a process lean, green, and clean. This is our primary focus, and so that we can make it affordable and scalable. Our idea is, and this is an alternative sweetener which goes in all kinds of food applications. We have already, we have set up a pilot plant with a capacity of 5,000 metric tons annually, and it's already commercialized. Now we are going for bigger scale, taking it to the 20,000 metric ton scale with all different grades of the product. We got a generous support of 65 crores from BioE3, and we are contributing around 28 crores. And we will be setting up an L65 grade. When I say 65, I'm referring to the purity. FOS production plant for about 12,000 metric tons a year, and L95 grade plant, powder plant, about, liquid L95 grade FOS production plant for about 2,000 metric tons a year, and L95 grade FOS production plant with 6,000 metric tons per year capacity. And we will also be scaling up a sweet tasting protein called brazin, which is about 1,000 times sweeter than sugar. This is already developed in a kilogram scale, and we'll be scaling up at this facility. So it is largely about import substitution and evolving as a global leader for FOS production and earning the foreign exchange. And we'll be generating about 200, we'll be employment of 200 people directly and 500 people indirectly. And we should be focusing more on bringing down the sugar burden for the country. We'll also be offering fermentation scale-up services, as well as for some startups who are interested in scaling up their food ingredients production. So these are the images of the products that we have already just commercialized from the pilot plant, and we'll be adding more and more products to this thing. Thank you.
Now we have Dr. G. Taru Sharma from NIAB and High Media Collaborative Project from Mumbai joining online.
days on 9th of August, it was done. Coming to the project cost, this project cost 33.19 crores. With the details are settling both between Biotech and us. So these are the deliverables. I think I'm having echo. There are 4 cell lines which we are proposing, and it will be scaled up at our industry partners place at a 50-liter scale. And we shall also be producing the food grade media, which will eventually go for the smart protein production. Can I request if the mic is switched off from that side so echo will not be there? May I request Bharat people? Stem cell media, which is serum free. Eventually, this will also go, as I said, for the food production, smart protein. It will be affordable and economic media. It will be supplied to very many people, which are linking with the regenerative therapies, not only in animal, but also in the medical sector. Services, it'll go definitely to the veterinary animal sectors, also to the medical schools and the linked hospitals, be them a veterinary hospitals or the medical hospitals. A bunch of OPDs who are already lined up with us, surely for the biopharmaceutical industries. And as I said, for the cultivated meat and the smart protein industries, all the adult animal stem cell research institutes, universities, laboratories, for sure startups and NGOs, and this indigenously serum-free media shall be able to revolutionize when we think of the cultivated meat industries within the country. These are the facilities which are in between the academia and the industry, or everything is at place, and I'm very, very happy and pleased to say that it was unveiled by none other than Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jiten Singh Ji, sharing some of the glimpses of the laboratory and also of the inaugural thing. And our Secretary DBT, Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, and the BioE3 for funding this whole program. Thanking from here to put it at place, and we wish to move ahead at a faster speed so as to have things at place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Dr.
Yeah. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. I am from ImmunoAct. I am Dr. Atharva. I am co-founder of the company and I am the head of scientific affairs. We are a pioneering company in the country to develop a new technology called CAR T-cell therapy in the country. And now it's a pride and privilege to move into the next ambitious project, which is development of gene delivery vehicles for these products in partnership with BioE3. So BioE3 has been generous in contributing around 60 CR for this project, where ImmunoAct will contribute 30 CR. Apart from the money, ImmunoAct will contribute for the facility building. The idea here is very simple. There are two key raw materials which are required for cell and gene therapy manufacturing, which is one is the GMP grade plasmid and second is a GMP grade gene delivery vehicle, which is the vector. And these facilities are currently not available in the country at such a large scale, and most of the players in the country as well as in the abroad are dependent on import of these vectors. And this is the major bottleneck which this project addresses currently. So we are able to now develop these gene delivery vehicles in our facilities at a small scale, and we would scale up this with the support of BioE3 into a new facility which is coming up. And at the same time, we would also engage with other partners. So there are other players in cell and gene therapy, academia, as well as industry coming up in India, like we saw from Dr. Sanjay, right? So we are open to partnering with them and providing them service of these vectors for their GMP scale-up operations. The impact is going to be very profound. First, these are advanced therapies which are coming to India for the first time, and India has an opportunity to be a biomanufacturing hub for such therapies in the country. Second, because it's a new technology, a new skill which is going to get developed, it's going to create a lot of employment and a lot of skill development in the country for such technologies. And it is also going to favor the ecosystem for innovation of such advanced therapies in the country. Because now most of these innovations are outsourced or in-licensed from other countries. Development of such raw materials in the countries will also favor the innovation ecosystem in the country. Our whole goal is to use our technology and provide the therapies to the patients at 1/10 of the cost of the global therapies. As of today, we have been able to bring down the cost of the therapies from 3 crore per dose to 26 lakhs per dose in the country. And with this therapies, with this raw material being generated in the country, we are going to enable further cost reduction and even enable further cost reduction of other therapies developed across the country, not just for ImmunoAct alone. And I warmly welcome you all for the facility launch. The facility is now ready. So we have built a facility of 80,000 square feet, which comprises of the GMP premises, otherwise the other ancillary services, of which 30,000 square feet has been dedicated to this project only for the gene delivery vehicle technology. And the facility would start its commissioning from October 2025, the moment we start installing all the equipments. And I welcome you all to participate, and please let us know if you would like to avail services from us for gene delivery vehicles, including plasmid and vectors. And thank you so much.
Next, we have Dr. Guhan Jairam from IIT Madras in collaboration with Tysel Biopark.
Thank you very much. I don't want to stand too much between you and lunch. And okay. All right. So we are lumped in industry because we are partnering with Tysel Biopark, and probably the only IIT in this distinguished gathering. And our goal is to engineer microorganisms and develop a biofoundry, as well as to validate many of the processes and products at pilot scale in conjunction with Tysel Biopark, who will be setting up a 1 kiloliter facility for this purpose. So the overall project cost is 26.1 crores, in which the BioE3 contribution to IIT Madras is 21 crore, and the rest 5.1 is the Tysel cost. So the main goal is to develop a library of engineered strains as potential microbial cell factories, similar to what some of the other applicants are doing. But in addition to that, we'll also take up contract research activities for tech transfer, and we are already getting a lot of interested partners, industrial partners for this. We'll be also demonstrating many of these technologies at pilot scale. Currently, TISL has a 200-liter facility, which will be scaled up to 800 liters, and we'll be looking at commercial feasibility for many of the products. We have quite a few products right now at TRL 5 level, mainly the molecular weight specific hyaluronic acid, which we have a lot of interested partners. Also, many bulk chemicals, including D-lactic acid, 3-hydroxypropionic acid, acetone, etc. All these have already been demonstrated at scales, at titers, which are more than 100 gram per liter. And we can easily scale it up to 800 liter scale. We also have at TRL 3 levels, several products which we are obtaining from lignin, mainly muconic acid, protocatechuic acid, rhamnolipids, etc. We have also demonstrated several recombinant antibodies, which will also be scaling up. One of the important things that we will be doing is to set up a finishing school to train fresh biotech graduates in industry-specific skills. Now, we see this as a big gap which already exists because many academic institutions train graduates, but often these are not having the industry-specific skills. So we'll be doing that right from probably next academic year. So this will have a significant impact on all the 3 E's which we see in the bioeconomy, because we'll not only be looking at development of a circular bioeconomy, which can have a huge impact on climate mitigation and carbon footprint, but it will also set up a strong workforce with advanced technological skills, which will impact on the employment. And of course, with many of the technologies that we are going to be developing, that will also have an impact on the economy. So the main services that we see to be offered will be, apart from setting up the rich repository of engineered strains, we'll also have contract research projects for industrial clients which require strains and process development. We'll be doing process validation at pilot scale for both industry clients as well as in-house projects. And finally, the finishing school for enhancing industry skills for fresh biotech graduates. So these are some of the facilities which exist at IIT Madras, both at the lab scale bioprocess development and high-end analytics, and some of the facilities at TISL Biopark, which range from currently 200-liter pilot scale facilities to clean rooms and BSL-2 facilities. Thank you.
Next, we have FSID Bangalore in collaboration with Tata Chemicals Limited. I request Dr. Krishna Kumar Tirumalai Kuruvai and Dr. Ashok Kumar Dubey to come on stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. As requested, we'll keep it very short. I think the herd is thinning already, and we need to kind of respect that. So this is a collaboration with between Tata Chemicals and Foundation for Science, Innovation and Development, which is essentially the incubation arm of Indian Institute of Science. Our plan is to set up a biofoundry. The contribution, as you can see from BioE3 is, the project is of around 30 crores. BioE3 is going to contribute 18 crores, TCL 9 crores, and FSID around 1.34 crores. We are setting up a biofoundry. It's a brownfield center in Bangalore, within the ISC campus, and it is primarily targeted for startups, industry, as well as academia. I think this has been covered by multiple people, what will be the benefits of creating this foundry, so I do not want to kind of restate the same things again. We would kind of, we believe that this facility will essentially help the entrepreneurs in and around the southern region to use this facility to kind of bring, these products to the market. This will be set up in the new facility which IISc has set up called the iHub facility, which is the building in which we are kind of encouraging a lot of both startups and corporates to kind of be housed in the same building and collaborate together. These are some of the pictures which we have put there. This second picture is where the foundry will come up as soon as we start implementation of the program. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we have Dr. Mrityunjay Suar from KIT Technology Business Incubator, Bhubaneswar.
Thank you. I'll be very short in 60 seconds. So as you know, you have seen since morning, everybody is speaking about health sector, but this is very different. And I come from the place which is known as the best kept secret of India. That's Odisha. So it's about blue economy. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be very happy to know the marine could be a part of agriculture. You can really produce a lot of things. So with that note, what we have proposed here to set up the marine biofoundry, which is the only one at the moment, and to help people to get into pilot scale, industry-compliant biomanufacturing hub setup, but we will not only help them in development prototyping, but also get into validation stage, so see that commercial viability achieves. So for that, we are now getting into a lot of international network, and good to tell you here, 2 agreements coming up with a close to $5 million FDI coming to support blue economy based activities. So thanks to BioE3 and DBT, right time when they gave it a nucleus to us, which became the nucleus to bring more funding, and blue economy is our USP now out of Odisha. So that's what this is going to be in the marine sector. Why marine biotech? Odisha is a large coast, and Honorable Minister said, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, if we combine, very longest coast, we can build blue economy corridor kind of concept. So with this, Government of Odisha also now coming up with the blue economy policy, and they are coming with a new program with the institutions, which are academia and R&D organizations, called OMBRIC program, which is to support R&D in blue economy. So what will help them to bring R&D outcome and help them to build technology, processes, platform to bring more commercialization strategies. So that's the whole idea we have been doing, and the forefront is blue economy. So thanks to BioE3 for giving so much of fund. This is not enough. We are creating more and more. That's why we went to the other institutions or the organizations internationally. And that's what I mentioned here with the US-based organizations also putting up some fund here to really promote 50 innovations in the blue economy sector. And we'll be running a lot of programs. Apart from pilot validations, also will bring more of tech transfer licensing activities, build a lot of capacities. We also met the Honorable, one of the senior advisors from Niti Aayog, and pitched there. How are we helping in the local ecosystem? So maybe seaweed farming would be one of the enabling component under this, which has a lot of potential in our state. And space-wise, not a problem, very large facility we have. And this is the, I think, incubator which has grown from nothing to very big. Thank you so much. And next time we'll have serve all the food from marine ecosystem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And lastly, I would request Dr. Debabrata Panda from Jindal Steel and Power Limited, Angul, to deliver his presentation.
Yeah, good afternoon all. This is Dr. Debabrata Panda going to present the DBT BioE3 funded the establishment of CCUS related activity for our green steel manufacturing process, especially for production of the pigments like phycocyanin and astaxanthin in our plant. So with the aid, with the financial assistance of BioE3 of around 17 crore and around 7 crore from our end, we are augmenting our facility for microbial laboratory for real-time data collection, automation, and integration of our mass cultivation of biomass in our unit. Even we are straining microalgae for production of pigments from the biomasses. Even we are also targeting for qualitative and quantitative approach by the help of LCA, TA analysis for production of more and more in the near future. So, as already discussed by my previous members, we are supporting the bioeconomic by providing the sustainable development through mitigating the carbon capture by supporting our self-sustainable goals like Bikasit Bharat and Atmanirbhar Bharat. And in this, we are providing services like to elevate our technological unit from TRL3 to TRL7, and by the help of our CSR activity, we are supporting farmers and local entrepreneurs towards this green steel manufacturing. So, in short, I can tell you that we want to revolutionize the green steel manufacturing by the help of the BioE3 team committee. Thank you all.
Thank you everyone for being so patient with us. So I would request Dr. Amita Joshi, DGM Head in Charge Technical BioRack, to conclude this event.
It's been a great session, and I would like to say a few more words, and I would be interested with it. So I would like to end this session by sincerely thanking everybody who has been here, being a part of today's event, our speakers, partners, and all of you who took part and time to join us. The discussion and ideas shared here have been thoughtful, encouraging, and they remind us that the real progress comes from working together and with the commitment and purpose. I hope each one of us leaves here today with a clear sense of what comes next, what we can do next, and on where we have started. Thank you once again for being and giving your time and patience to this event. Thank you so much again. Please join us for lunch.